True peace, true peace, true peace, true peace. Happy holy day, Muslims. Happy holy day. True peace, Islam, Islam, Islam. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Rabat. Hope everybody doing well tonight. We already got people in, so we about to kick it off, y'all. Hope y'all having a good holy day. Happy holy day, Davina. True peace, brother Mo.
True peace. Happy holy day.
Happy holy day, y'all. It's a good day. We about to bring in the peoples. I'm sending out the invites right now. And let's get it started in here. Islam. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, I'm just inviting everybody to come. Kick it, kick it, kick it. Yes, we can. All right, all right. Let me see. Just adding everybody I know. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and do this opening, y'all, and we're gonna get it started. All right, let me mod you up real quick, brother Mo. Islam. Let me go ahead and get it started for us.
Islamism.
Thank y'all. First things first, welcome to the World Temple, branch temple number 24, the Moorish Science Temple of America. And we are a chartered and incorporated temple. We're teaching our people their divine creed and their divine nationality. First, I want to give all honors to the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and the Honorable Elijah. I keep saying Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but what I meant was the forerunner, Honorable Marcus Garvey, but also give praises due to Elijah Muhammad and all those that came after and created branch temples or different forms of the Moorish Science Temple, from CM Bay, H.I.M Bay, Uriel Bay, Prince Uriel Bay, and others that have made divine contributions to the progression, to the movement of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the divine and national movement. And welcome, 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 everybody. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and unity, and we about to get it started. True peace, true peace, true peace, true peace. Let me message Sister Is back real quick. All right, all right. So y'all know today is holy day, so happy holy day to all Muslims and peacemakers across the world and all those of the global village. So, with that, we're gonna open it up. How y'all feeling today? Open up with this divine.
Oh well, I'm pumped up today. I don't know why. I'm just, super excited for no reason at all. Probably because it's holy day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that divine energy we've been manifesting and building up, over the week, and it's gonna continue to go, continue to grow and go. For us, we're gonna have down moments, but at the same time, we're gonna be alive, and lively, in the direction of our divine message. And the more that the comprehension comes, it just gets better and better and better. I feel it. I know you feel it. Especially with the accomplishments that we're having, and the growth that we're feeling and having, and we're just gonna keep growing. If you ain't growing around us, you might feel the pain, you might feel the retribution, or other different type of purgatory type feelings. But get it out, purge it out, and come back in a good name and in good faith. And we welcome everybody to the temple. We doing our thing, and we're gonna continue to do our thing with the keep on keeping on. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the prayer, y'all, real quick. The divine supplication. That way we can open up the temple floor. Thank y'all for coming. Like I said, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. Y'all here with the Grand Sheik, Dr. Lawiy, Zodok, Samuel, and let's do this. Begin our prayers and thinking by using El Kalum, the All, prayer of the Ansars. O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds, we do accept the duty you have lain on us to clean up the filth made by the West and its non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us to control the streams of the courses of our lives. Our sustainer, and if we do wrong, please show our divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers, and in thy name we carry on. All right. I'm going to go to our daily affirmation of loyalty. What we accept is fact of the children of Elohim, by the children of the Elohim. Number one, we accept as fact the eternal laws of nature as revealed through science, past events, logic, and common sense, revealed as right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We accept as fact the highest laws of nature as the cooperation and harmony of all living things. We accept as fact our way of life as a means to the best end. We accept as fact that loyalty is the greatest of all honors and treason is the worst of all crimes. We accept as fact that what is good for the Holy Tabernacle is the highest virtue, and what is bad for the Holy Tabernacle is the ultimate evil. We accept this fact that the Holy Tabernacle is the finest and noblest organization for all humanity created by circumstances, and the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek is the noblest of fraternities on and above this planet. We accept this fact that creativity, love, and cooperation are the essence of success. We accept this fact that truth and facts are always and has always been the originator and creator of all success. We accept this fact that all worthwhile cultures and civilizations came about from the ancient Sumerians and Kamite Egyptians and the Anunnakis or Elohims from the heavens without which there would be none. We accept this fact that for the Holy Tabernacle to survive, expand, and advance, we need first of all a revolution of values and thoughts which must start within each person by being truthful with themselves and about themselves. Therefore, we completely and categorically reject all myths, fictions, religions, and lies that have not been proven. That would include your heavens, your hells, your hellfire, and brimstones, and your horn and pitchfork devils, your winged angels, and your old man God character sitting on the throne up there somewhere. We deal strictly with facts. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean we won't listen to you. Just don't expect us to accept your beliefs by virtue of a title such as reverend, pastor, deacon, imam, sheik, rabbi, minister, theologian, etc. That is your sensationalism, and we deal with just the facts. True peace, everybody that's coming in. Welcome. We accept this fact that the only true revolution is a war of good against evil, right against wrong, fairness against unfairness, loyalty against disloyalty, sincerity against insincerity, honesty against dishonesty, and this war is fought within each person among the agreeable and disagreeable Elohims that make up your willpower. We accept this fact that the unity of our community and its success will only happen with cooperation with all involved. We accept this fact, the total unification of all humanity on the basis of truth, that is, accepting people and races for who and what they are, respecting their culture, their languages, and their beliefs, and expect the same. We accept this fact that the human race's biological and cultural heritage is now under attack by our own morals, our own self-righteousness, our desire to control industry, and these things attack the very existence of humanity. True peace divinity. We accept this fact that males as well as females are equal in all things and should be dealt with as partners in all matters. We accept this fact that no one race of people is better than the other. In fact, no one wins the race in racism. We accept this fact that communication between different people is the cure to the ignorance that breeds the disease hate. We accept this fact that a good and well-rounded education could prevent most of the ignorance that plagues the world. We accept this fact that the all is just that, the all. You can't take from the all. You can't add to the all. We are all within the all as one. That is our concept of what you call a deity. To the fulfillment of these facts, we, the children of the Elohim, forever pledge our lives, our sacred honor, and our spiritual zeal. True peace, y'all. Welcome. I'm doing the temple opening, the world parliamentary opening for us that we do every day as we open up the temple. And come get involved. True peace. I'm about to go over the divine constitution and bylaws from the divine prophet Noble Drew Ali. If y'all know it, y'all can pretty much say it to yourselves along with me. True peace. Let's do this. So Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Zabuwr, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all lifting acts of the Moorish Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Zabuwr through the guidance of his father God Allah. Islam, 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 Shalom, Shalom. True peace. Welcome, 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 y'all. It's gonna be a good holy day. I feel it in my bones and my jones. That's right. All right, so we're gonna jump to the circle. True peace, Noble. Islam, go ahead.
I just wanted to say welcome. Thank you for having me. And also, just I'm gonna be back and forth only because I'm just slipping clothes real quick, but I'm still here though.
Well, look, I'm glad you said something right when you said it, because like I said, if you want to go ahead and do some divine contributions, I want to let it be known that like I said, I would like you to kind of be the lecturer for the night, be the speaker for the night, because like I said, get the people to let them know who you are just a little bit, and get them to feel your vibration and the presence that needs to be felt by the divine goddess. You feel me, Islam?
Yes. Okay. Wait. One moment, guys. Someone is calling my phone. One moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the reading for the day for our Friday holy day, and we every Friday we go over chapter 25, 47, 48, and instructions 6 through 9. We pretty much read this every Friday and Friday only, but I'm gonna give a real quick recap on the World Parliamentary Opening, so that way people that are kind of new for today kind of get an understanding of how we open up the temple every day, and how things are supposed to go according to the divine protocol that the prophet left us. So every day we pretty much open with the divine supplication that we read, and then the Holy Tabernacle or the Holy Templars Family Guide, which we read those 19 affirmations, and that's pretty much every day. On Tuesdays, we read our affirmations that come from the United Nubian Nation of Moors Constitution, because it's some very important information that the master teacher has put in there, and we read that Tuesdays during our Interfaith Tribunal, which is Monday through Thursday, and then Friday I open up with a Royal Renaissance, which is pretty much what we're doing right now, and then we read the Moorish American Prayer and the Divine Constitution, which I'm about to read the Moorish American Prayer now before I go into the readings. And then on Sundays we have the World Memorandum for World Citizens, because Sunday is our newcomers class, and that's where we we teach the guides or the guiders of this nation for our people, especially the children, that we have their session first before, and we invite the parents to come in and get involved, open up the floor, open up the temple for your children, and then at 6 o'clock we continue on with the actual newcomers class and the newcomers gathering. I don't like to say class, but we pretty much call it a gathering, which, 2 or 3 more gathered in the name. Therefore, you know what's going on. Islam. And so we go over the readings on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, which are open between, different scriptures and scrolls, whether it's we reading the Templar scroll, the Holy Tablets, the Circle 7 Holy Quran, and the different lessons of, the instructions and things like that. It's pretty much open on Tuesdays, which is our interfaith tribunal, and Thursdays, which is, our interfaith tribunal during the day. And or we can open up, the social media roundtable that we do have and that we're implementing, and open up the floor for, just knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, understanding, whether it comes to economics, things like that, and some of these things that have been, pretty much called out for by our divine leaders, prophets, messengers, etc. So to continue on, we read Acts 6 for every private meeting that we held, or hold, I'm sorry. And whether it's with people that are outside, that are outside the temple and outside the community, or even that are part of the Nucratic society, we advise you to read Acts 6, so that way we could, invite people and be, still propagating, be in the action, of propagating the divine faith, and, bringing our people into the divine fold. So we read on Thursdays and Fridays, like we just mentioned, the readings that can be read and incorporated also as well is El's Holy Quran, the Torah, the Book of Psalms, and the Book of Revelations, or the Injiyl, as it's called. So those readings and those lessons can also be incorporated on Thursdays, which Thursday afternoon will be more specific for our students that are in ministry one-on-one. And we're going to pretty much be setting a time for that, where we have our hour class for those ministers that are learning, or adepts, and people that are becoming adepts and joining the adept chamber. And like I said, Monday through Thursday, the tribunal, the open chaplaincy chambers, is open for those that are members of the adept chamber, and to learn how to navigate the seas of life and the seas of commerce. Islam. So with that, I'm gonna do this prayer, y'all, so y'all know how it go. Facing the east, 2 fingers up, 5 fingers. 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up. And let's get into it. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen, y'all. Islam. All right, so
I just wanted to add
somebody
something. Whenever you say something and I don't get the answer so quickly, it's because the phone went to, where you got to reopen your phone up. That's the only thing I wanted to tell you.
Oh, I'm with you, but I definitely understand. Definitely understand. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over these readings real quick for the opening, and if you don't get too busy, Sister Is, we'd love to have you, give a good word for the night, and pretty much be our guest speaker for the night. Sister Is a very, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna let the Spirit talk through her when she ready, but you never know who you're talking to, and you never know who in your presence. I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I'm gonna just say that. And we are on record tonight, so everything is recorded, and they can come back and play the replays, and leave that divine information here for that, for that crowd of people that are, they're gonna come in later on and catch the message as we go on and continue to do what we do as a people, propagating the divine faith, and letting it be known that we are here and we are making our presence felt, and that it is time to, bring our people into their divine nationality and their divine creed, and teach them, the knowledge of their forefathers and their divine mothers. Islam. So with that, I'm about to go to chapter 25 of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Holy Quran Circle 7. If you would like to read along, you can click the link that's pinned to the top of the room, and it'll take you to our temple website. You can scroll down, go to the temple district, log into the school that we have. You can either click learn more or enroll now, and it'll take you to our Civics 101 course. And that's pretty much what we'll be having tonight. We'll be going over our civic lessons as we do every Friday and every Sunday for Newcomers Gathering, to teach our people the power that they have with the prophet put in place by establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America as a civic organization, and then restructuring it into a religious corporation, which makes us a subnational body of the United States of America, and makes us true American royals and American nationals by way of you proclaiming your nationality and putting it on the books, with an administrative body of the Moorish Science Temple of America and whatever local branch temple that you are a part of. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off, y'all. Islam. Welcome. I thank y'all for joining me. Like I said, y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all here right now with me, the Grand Sheik, Dr. Lawiy Zodok, and the Royal Chambers that are embody everybody that has a mod or the green bean. These are pretty much ministers. So I want y'all to keep a lookout for the people while we do these readings and these lessons. Keep a lookout for the people that are coming into the room, and making sure that they are members of the temple. They can join simply by becoming a guest member by clicking that greenhouse at the top, or join us by clicking the link that's pinned to the room. Like I said, go to the temple district, and it's going to take you to our temple city university and global temple city university, which is the first temple city that we'll be working towards and as a goal. Enroll into the school and become an official member. And Civics 101 is how you become an official member versus just being a temple guest and a guest of the temple. And for those that are interested in being adepts, you should be enrolling in Ministry 101 in the temple and start your journey as an ordained minister and adept of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And you guys will be joining me in Chicago this year as we go to Chambers, and you'll be an official adept of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So with that, we're going to read the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, which is also another important law of the Moorish Science Temple of America that you should understand. And the floor is open at all times, y'all, so please be aware that this temple, our global temple body, is a question and answer temple. So feel free to ask questions at any time that the Spirit is moving you to. Don't be shy, don't hesitate, none of that, don't hold back. It's each one teach one. So with that, if no questions come real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Holy Covenant and read, go into the readings. If you have a question, just give us a proper greeting, true peace, Islam, whatever, something like that. Rabat, however your language is, pardon the body, and pretty much make the contribution and forward your question to the floor. And like I said, we'll be happy to answer your question. So with that, I'm gonna go into the readings. As it states, ye are children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother had given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. So, as Yahshua said in the scriptures, y'all, I am my brother's keeper, and that brother and sister and my mother and my father is those who do the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the will and the traditions of man. So this right here becomes your blood, your spiritual family. We got to get that understanding locked in. And we go over this every week, y'all. Every week. So with that, I'm about to go to chapter 47, which is called Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. And this is a very important read as we go over it. So please, like I said, feel free to ask questions. Y'all should come ready, pen and pad, ready to ask questions, because every time you read something, you learn something new. Ikra, as it was said, right? Read, Muhammad. So, as it states, chapter 47, the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham is second, and his family was second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the father and the son. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. With their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sovereign from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto this present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake, which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the Great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Uniting of the Moorish Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meetings and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and to create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and awful day that is sure to come. And we in that day and time, y'all. Islam. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and color was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. Islam. So with that, you see, some of our sisters like to teach respects to the divine mother, true peace, Qatar. We have the situation to where, the back and forth between the God and the goddesses, and there's really no separation between the two, even in the Islamic teachings of the Islamicism teachings of the Moorish Temple of America, because as you can see, we're honoring our forefathers and, like I said, our divine mothers. And because we honor not our mothers and our forefathers, we're in this situation now. We're dealing with being under with our people, not necessarily us in here in the temple, but our people that are, you know, calling themselves Negro, Black, and Colored under the guise of the, you know, the gods of Europe. This is why we're dealing with what we're dealing with as a people. So I'm going to continue on to chapter 47, called The End of Times and the Fulfilling of the Prophecies, Islam. And we are in that time to, you know, understand the prophecies that are being fulfilled. And, you know, we want to take heed to the messages that the prophet left us. A lot of people want the benefit, but they don't want the discipline and the knowledge that comes with, you know, embodying this information that was left to us by the prophet, Islam. So with that, I'm gonna go into chapter 48, like I said, called the End of Time and the Fulfilling of the Prophecies. So it states, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days to warn and stir up the nation, and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days, there came a forerunner of Jesus who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospels to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. The Moorish Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation, descendants from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nation of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. The covenant of the great God Allah: honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah had given thee. Come, all ye Asiatics of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourselves with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Islam. So, with these readings of the Moorish Temple of America, Holy Qur'an Circle 7, and, you know, reading the day-to-day lessons that we do read in the temple, this pretty much, you know, it goes into more detail, you know, a little bit more coming from directly from the prophet, in the way that he organized this Circle 7 Holy Quran, you know, whether, you know, people, you know, catch the understanding of the metaphysical principles that he put together, you know, by compiling this particular cantonized, you know, structure of the Islamic faith, and, you know, giving us it in a form of Islamicism, you know, for us, so that way we can have an American understanding of our ancient culture and things like that that are connected to the Islamic principles, or what we call the Millia Ibrahim, which is the way, or the way of Abraham, who is the forefather or the father of many nations, or the father of the nations of the, you know, the nations of the earth, or what we call the family of nations in law. And this is a legal term that is used and well known, you know, amongst the world. And it's time for us as a people to understand our divine nationality and our divine creed, as it was broken down and led, by the precedence of, led by way of the precedence of the Prophet, Islam. So, with that, the floor is open. I'm going to continue on with these 6 instructions that came from the Prophet, and pretty much just kind of go through them as we go. But we do have the instructions. The floor is open. Islam, Islam, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Peace, 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 true peace. Rabat, and greetings to everybody that's coming into the room. Halito, Amateo, all those good things. All those good greetings, I'm sorry, from the different and many languages, from the natives, the indigenous, and, just all of our people across the global village and the global diaspora. I welcome you all. Welcome to the World Temple. Like I said, y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us in the divine and holy family. And anybody got any questions, anything like that, the floor is open. I'm about to, pretty much have the instructions ready to go. So that way, like I said, we can skim through that. And then we got Sister Is in the room with us tonight. And, I would like for her to be our speaker for tonight and kind of, give us some of that good old information that's coming from the divine feminine. And, y'all sit back and catch some of that so y'all can see how these principles and these lessons and this knowledge that is pretty much out there for us to grasp, how it is still in alignment with what the Prophet has brought, with, the forerunner, Honorable Marcus Garvey, even the divine messenger, Elijah Muhammad, and, Clarence 13X with the gods and the goddesses of the earth, and, everybody that's coming to get that information, and learn, like I said, their divine creed and nationality, because it is available for us and for them to receive. So with that, I'm gonna land my plane. And like I say, the floor is open, y'all. Islam. Anybody got any questions, any contributions, any reviews that they want to go over? The floor is open. Islam. True peace, Noble Charles. Welcome to the temple. I'm not sure. Is you a member of the temple already, Noble? I ain't even mean to, I brought you up prematurely. We usually don't let people on stage unless they are already members of the temple. So if you can, Noble, please click that green mansion at the top and join us. So that way I won't be getting no foot in the butts by bringing up the just new members. But we love to have you, Noble. We pretty much here every Friday for Holy Day, and throughout the week, Monday through Thursday, in tribunal setting that we have to teach our people their divine nationality and their divine creed. And we have a administrative tribunal during the day, that helps our people out learn the law, learn administration, finance, just learn more about the divine principles and creed and things of that nature. So with that, like I say, the floor is open. I don't know if you can hear me, Sister Is, but the floor is yours if you're ready, whenever you're ready. True Peace Divinity, True Peace Brother Mo, and True Peace Brother Child. Thank y'all for being here. Like I said, and let's do this. Let's have a blessed night and make the most of it as we send up the divine energy. Because like I say, y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all here and y'all in the mental reservoir. So send that thinking, that think tank energy and that, that divine love and that your presence, your energy, you're in a space where 2 or 3 or more gathered in the name, and we can do the great works. And if you understand about the astrology and things of that nature, what being here on Friday really means, and the work that you're doing, by not being in the club and other places versus being in a spiritual setting. And for those that was here last week, and the messages that I left about being on Clubhouse and that H.I.M Abiff thing that's been going on with our people, y'all really understand the importance for us being in the house. Islam, true peace, y'all. The floor is open. Don't be shy now. True peace. Islam.
True peace, true peace.
Peace to the God. Islam.
I would like to rise with stating that all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, the creator of the universe. I'd like to give the highest honors to Prophet Noble Jew Ali. I'd like to give honors to Marcus Garvey. I'd like to give honors to the Branch Temple 24 Charter. Yeah, I'd like to give honors for the Charter. I'd like to give honors to the Supreme Grand Sheik, King Umar Bey, and all of his officials and staff and members in the Mecca. And I'd like to give honors to each and every one of you who are in this room on the holy day in Clubhouse. And I'd like to give honors to everything Moorish. I just like to make a contribution of talking about nationality and divine creed and why that's important. Our nationality, without having nationality and divine creed, we are incomplete and we're not whole. So when the prophet, he gave us our nationality and divine creed, that made us whole again, and now we could be recognized, as true American citizens in this nation. And I'm forever thankful and grateful for that. And with that, I yield. True peace.
Peace, peace, peace. Your highest honors, Noble. We gotta learn to, communicate like the prophet said, the way we want, as far as ourselves and as a people, and learn, how to communicate as the prophet done things, and following those footsteps, because what the prophet came with, to open up right today's lecture and sermon. What the prophet came with is, what me and you kind of get into, Brother Mo Rahim, with the fact that we as a people have to start doing what's called what is psychoneuronic duplication, right? And get into the principles of success. And the prophet was successful at what he did, despite whatever setbacks and things of that nature that came. The prophet was very successful. The fact that you show up and do what you say you're gonna do, you are a successful person. And you got to understand that the law of success is ingrained into your understanding of how you understand these divine laws of the universe, as they call them, the universal laws, right? And those universal laws are very important. Like a lot of people do not, like I say, have the discipline to come in and sit and get the information, because their mind is everywhere in the world and everywhere else. And it's essentially, okay, we know how people got things to do, but if you want to learn how to navigate the seas of commerce and the seas of life, where you put your time and where you put your source energy is what you're gonna get back. That is an investment. The prophet was well grounded and well, astute about what he was doing. He understood the principles of setting up for us a religious corporation going back to 1928. Now, this is not to say people shouldn't be having their own, but what more better than having the work cut in half for you if your mission, a part of establishing your ministry, is to uplift the nation. You see what I'm saying? And build a nation and be a part of nation building. Well, if like everybody else knows, that the Moorish Science Temple of America you know, is a you know, is a you know, a divine, you know, movement and a national movement that's been established for us as a people, then you should already know that the Moorish Science Temple of America is here for you to assist you on your journey. Islam. So whenever you're available, Sister Is, you can go ahead and chime in. I'm gonna just do a you know, a little pre-seminary and, you know, get us going.
True peace, true peace. I just wanted to also say that I want to give honors to Dr. Lawiy Zodok L as well. I've forgot to mention that part of me. I want to give high honors to you, and as well as the charter for the Branch Temple 24. I yield. True peace.
Thank you, Noble. So with that, what we tell ourselves, the things we tell ourselves, the principles that we live by, this is what we'll go by. You know, and how we decide to, you know, pretty much conduct life. So last week we was talking about the principles of being, like I said, on Clubhouse, and we went into some things, right? Some real great things about, you know, why it's important to understand, you know, the principles of what was done to us by way of the Hiram Abiff situation. And, you know, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up El's Holy Quran for us that comes from the master teacher, right? Because these lessons are here for us to take in and to take heed to. So I'm about to do that. And I think we left off in our readings on in the El's Holy Quran, chapter 40 or 30, somewhere around that part. So we'll do that. All right. So with that, let me see where we left off. Gotta do a review of the scroll real quick, because some of these revelations that we've been reading, you know, have been pretty much coming to life, especially the prophecies of the prophet, right? And you know, a lot of people have the misconception that, you know, the prophet didn't want us to read the real Quran or, you know, the Bible. And, you know, as he said, don't throw away your Bibles, don't throw away your Qurans. And then, you know, the master teacher, you know, also as well, and other, you know, spiritual leaders and teachers, throughout the planet have pretty much informed us of where a lot of this source information that they're getting comes from, which is, coming from these scriptures, and, a lot of people have many different variations of interpretations, but we're not necessarily going into the interpretations. We're actually explaining the scriptures outright. So none of what we're saying is considered tasfir, commentary on the scripture. What we're actually doing is explaining the scripture, in a 2 + 2 = 4 manner, so that way they can really understand the context and what these scriptures are saying. So let me see. I think we left off on chapter 30 last time in the El's Holy Quran. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Now remember, we was reading this long chapter right here. I think this is where we was at. Yep. This is where we was at, y'all. I done found it. I was like, wow, this is a long chapter right here. This one don't hold up. And matter of fact, what's funny is that the same space in the same spot in the Quran is the same spot of that we're in, and we just read this past week with El's Holy Torah, and where we've been reading in the tribunal about. So we're in chapter 39. We're actually in chapter 39 of El's Holy Quran. Yeah, we was moving into 40 and 30, 38. I'm saying 30. I'm sorry, y'all. 39 is a very long chapter. And so, like I was saying, the crazy part about it is that, we left off in the same spot or the same event, right? When it comes to, our daily tribunals and what we've been reading. Okay, so yeah, that's where we left off at about Brother Lot. So that's what we're going to read. We're going to start it off from there. And this is a section of chapter 39 that we stopped at about Brother Lot. Let's see, I think I passed it up, y'all. Give me a second. We're going to get it started.
True peace, true peace. Also, would like to give honors to the Moorish flag, which is the cherry red flag with the five-pointed star in the center. This is a seal of Solomon. Also, I'd like to give honors to the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, the American
And I'd like
flag, right, the real American flag.
to the American flag. And I'd like to give honors to everything Moorish. When I say everything, I do mean everything. And if I forgot or left anything out, I want to give honors to that. And once again, high honors to the Grand Sheik, Dr. Lawiy Zodok, for everything that you have done for us and will you continue to do for us in the present time daily? High honors to you, brother. I yield. Two peace.
All right, thank you, Lawiy. Islam. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. So this section is called the sending of the Rasul, Asele, and Lot, and their nations in. So we're about to go over this review. And yeah, thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for being here with me. Islam, Islam, Islam. Let's get into it. So, and we don't have a review for this particular section, so we're just going straight into the verse. And the master teacher translate and state from verse 73 of chapter 39, and it states, and to the Enosites of Thamud, we, the Elohim Anunnaki, did send their brother Saleh. He said, "Oh, Nas, slave, the source, Allah, there is no other for you besides this Ilah, source. Indeed, a clear proof has come to you from your Rock. This is Allah's she-camel, which is assigned to you. So let it roam and eat in the pastures, in the sources, Allah's good earth. And do not touch her with any harm, or you shall be taken by an aching pain. And remember when he not we, the source, Allah, made you all khulufa, or caliphs, successors, left behind, after Ad. And he settled you all in a certain place in the planet Ard, or Tiamat. And you chose to make mansions on its plains, and you dug out houses into the varying mountains, into the caves. So remember the benefits of the source, and don't act corruptibly in the planet Earth, or Qui, causing all forms of mischief. The rulers said, those who are big-chested, pouting with pride of his kindred, unto those who are considered the weak, to those who are faithful among them, did you know that Saleh was sent from his Rab, sustainer? They said, surely we are faithful by way of what he, Saleh, has been sent with. Those who were big-chested, pouting with pride, said, surely we are concealers of the facts about that which you have faith in. So they, the Mood, slaughtered the she-camel and revolted against the commands of their Rab. And they said, O Saleh, bring upon us the pain of what you threaten us with, if you are indeed of those ones sent. If you are one of the Rasul, one sent. So the shaking of the earth overturned them, the Enosites of Thamud, and as the early daytime hour came upon them, they became a motionless abode. So he, Saleh, turned away from them, Enosites of Thamud, and said, "Oh, my kindred, I will deliver unto you the message of my Ra, who is master, sustainer. I, Saleh, tried to give you all good advice, but you do not like those who come to give you good advice. And as for Lut, or Lot, when he said to his kindred, Sodom, meaning burning, and Gomorrah, meaning submersion, what is it that makes you, fahishat, commit such indecencies or abominations? That which has not been done in the world by anyone before you, in the known worlds, abominations. Surely you all have come unto Rajal, mortal men, lustfully, other than going unto Al-Nisa, the Enosite woman. In fact, you, Sodom and Gomorrah, are a very extravagant kindred. And his, Lut, kindred, Sodom and Gomorrah, had no other answer except that they said, cast them out from your town or village. Surely they, Lut and his family, are Nas, or Enosites, who seek to purify themselves. So we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, delivered him, Lot, and his family, except Amaratuhu, his woman, Sabria, and she was of those who remained behind. She, Sabria, turned back and was changed into a pillar of salt or paralyzed. And we, the Elohim Anunnaki, rained down upon them, Sodom and Gomorrah, with a rain. So look at how the guilty ones end up. So that was that section. That was the end of that section right there, which is a very powerful section, because if it keeps repeating itself from the Torah to now, you know, it's a message that we should take heed to. And, you know, as we witnessing what's going on in the earth and the things that are going on, you know, we see that, you know, our people are out here on some, you know, wild crazy stuff. So, with that, hold on, true peace. Let me see, check my message. Okay, I got you, Nova. Islam. Like I say, you can chime in whenever, so we can go ahead and let you, you know, get your lectures on. So with that, we're gonna go into the next section called the sending of Shu'aib and Jethro to the Midianites and his nation's end. So this is going into the next nation that was pretty much stopped, you know, from its transgressions by the Elohim Anunnaki. And this is starting off at verse 85 of chapter 39. And we, the Elohim Anunnaki, sent their brother Shu'aib, also known as Jethro, to the Midianites, and he, Shu'aib, said, "Oh, my kindred, slave Allah, for you have no source besides him, the source, Ilah. For indeed it has come unto you clear evidence from your Rabb. So therefore, give a full measure and a full weight, and do not diminish for the Enosites the things which are theirs, and do not cause any mischief in the planet Earth after its reformation. This is better for you all, if you are indeed of the faithful. And do not squat or sit and wait in the way of all those on the path, threatening and trying to turn Enosites away from the path of the source, Allah. Don't come into the fold of a peaceful environment to turn Enosites out. He who is of the faithful in him and seeking only to make the right way crooked. And remember you when you were a very little amount, and then he multiplied you. And look and see how those things cause how those who cause mischief meet their end. And if there was a party among you all who have faith by that in which I, Muhammad, was sent, and another party of you didn't have any faith, so then wait patiently until the source, Allah, passes wisdom between us, and he is the best of al-Hakim. Al-Hakimin. I'm sorry, y'all. The best of al-Hakimin, the wise ones. There is more than one al-Hakim. And the wealthy ruler said, those who are big-chested, pouting with pride, from among Shu'aib's kindred, surely we will make you leave, O Shu'aib, or Jethro. Also those who have faith in you from our village, or will you turn your back to our million rights? Shu'aib said, though we have detested and hated it, certainly we will invent a lie. Allah, upon the source, Allah, if we return to your rights after the source, Allah delivered us from it, and it will not be good for us to return to it, your religion, except that is what Allah wants for us. He is our Rabb, and as such is ample, in all knowledge of everything. Drop my pen. All right, where was that? Upon the source, Allah, we put our trust. He is our Rabb. He opens a way between us and between our kindred, with the fact beyond any doubt. And you, the source, is the best of those who open ways between Enocytes. And the council of the Malay rulers, those who conceal what they know to be true, what they know to be the facts of his, Jethro's, or Shuib's kindred of Midian, said, if you all follow Sheik, Jethro, then you all will surely be of Al-Kasarim, the losers. So the tremor took control. So they all crouched down in their abode in the early daytime hour. Those who lied on Sheik or Jethro, acting if they had not dwelled in it, the town of Midian, those who called Jethro or Sheik a liar, they are indeed Al-Kasarim, the losers. So he, Shuib, turned away from them and said, O my kindred, the Midianites, indeed it was me who delivered unto you all a message from his father, Luqman's book of wisdom, called the Kitab al-Hikmah, sent by my Rab, and gave you all good advice. So how shall I be sorry for a kindred, the Midianites, who conceal what they know to be the facts? Which is, the facts is coming from the 19 books of the prophet Luqman, or the book of wisdom. And we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, did not send a Nabi, man of prophecy, Jethro, unto a village or a Midian, except that we, the Elohim Anunnaki, took their families through distress and adversity, so that perhaps they will humble themselves. Then we, the Elohim, changed the place of the Enocytes of Midian from disagreeableness to agreeableness, until they, the Midianites, were wiped out. And they, the Midianites, said, adversity and happiness has just touched our fathers of generations. So we, the Anunnaki, took them unexpectedly, and they did not perceive. And if the family of the villages, the Midianites, who had faith and feared and trembled, we not he, the Elohim Anunnaki, would have opened for them a blessing from the skies, which is a vortex pathway, or a vortex, right? And the planet Tiamat Earth, but they Midianites lied. So we, the Elohim Anunnaki, took them by way of what they had earned. Do the families of the villages have ensured the faith that our not mine, Elohim's punishment will come to them as an attack by the shadow hour period, while they are asleep? Or has faith, the family of the villages, that our, the Elohim's punishment will come to them as an attack by the breaking forth of early daytime hour, by Fajr and Zuhur, while they are playing? Do they have faith against Allah's plot? So they have no faith against the source's plot, none except the kindred who are the losers. It is not clear to those Adamites who inherit the earth after its former residents, the original 13 tribes, that if we, the Elohim Anunnaki, please, we would afflict them, the Adamites, on account of their guilty actions, and stamp an impression on their hearts, so they would not hear? These nations, which are Egypt or Misraim, and Noach's, Enocytes, and the Midianites, we, the Elohim Anunnaki, relate upon you, Muhammad, of its news, and indeed their Rasul, Noach, Abraham, Yithro, and Moshe, came to them, the nations, by way of clear evidences, so they would not have faith in what they denied from before. Those people on earth before Adam, as for that, the source, Allah stamped an impression, a seal on the emotional hearts of those who conceal what they know to be true. What they conceal what they know to be the facts. And we, the Elohim, and we, the Anunnaki, did not find for most of them, the Midianites, a Don, covenant. And surely we, the Elohim Anunnaki, found that most of them verily are transgressors. So I'm going to end right there, because this chapter is very long, y'all. And as y'all can see, It's talking about the self-destruction of these nations and what causes their self-destruction, upon themselves, because they choose not to follow the divine creed of their forefathers and mothers, right? Islam.
Islam.
Islam. And guess what? Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Noble. Islam, true peace.
Cool. Okay, so I see that it was like they created something twice, I believe. I don't want to put a number on it, but they cleaned it up the first time with the Anunnaki or whatever, and then they created something again. But didn't they go through something like a genetic cleanup? Wasn't they supposed to do a genetic cleanup with them? Which I wouldn't see how if they didn't come from the source we come from. But anyway, make a long story short, I was going to say a genetic cleanup, and then what's the second half I was trying to see? Hold on, because I didn't get to write it down. Hold on. The genetic cleanup. And then were we under a transgression from creating them? Or something to that nature I'm trying to see. If I'm saying asking the question correctly. With the matriarch God or whatever the case.
Correct. And you're right on point, because that's exactly what's being communicated here. Because there's been numerous attempts to send leaders to influence the influence the leaders on actually okay, I don't know how I made that payment, but okay. There's been numerous attempts, like I said, to influence by way of the leaders to influence that genetic shifting and genetic change. And this is going all the way back, like it was saying, to the Adamites, which are the Enocytes, or the children of Adam, being the Nas or the Enocytes, which means they are the human being, more humanoid beings that are descendants of the Anunnakis. Because going back to the whole Cain and Abel situation, that's kind of where the split of the actual DNA happened between those that are of the source, right, and then those that are not. And so now those nations that were created by way of those that are not of the source, these are the nations that these prophets were sent to, or they genetic DNA was shifted, so therefore they could change that particular nation, and left with these covenants. And they're still considered of the Israelite, the Midianite, and the Ishmaelite bloodline, taking you back to the Anunnaki and Adam and things of that nature. So you're very on point, and yeah, you're getting it. Islam.
What is it? The Adam Kadmon. And then also look at what I was gonna say too was hold on. What about the Black Moors, the Tawny Moors, the Etruscan Black Moors, right? Because what I'm getting is that we had gave when we was giving birth parthenogenically, we gave something called the Titans, because when I was reading in the Bible, it says like she was unclean or something like that. When it comes to like a virgin birth mean like with no semen, right? As far as from a masculine, I mean, well, the God itself from the outside. We did it from the inside itself. So I'm from my research, I'm just saying, correct me if I'm wrong. We had gave birth to the Titans, right? Now they it was kind of like a jealousy there, if I want to say, when it comes to, because they can't reproduce themselves by themselves in themselves. They need to do it with something like me. When I can just do that, and you know what I'm saying, because of being a creator God, right, having the uterus, I can do that just with one shot, right? and I believe it was like, if correct me if I'm wrong, kind of like jealous of the of what I can do, and what I mean as far as the energy wise. I'm not talking about this body. We're talking about energy wise when we're in a more of a high vibrating state. Correct me if I'm wrong, because then I'm thinking, because of what they said was that they created a particle accelerator machine to which they just about to cut it on in July 5th. They're about to recut it on. They've been having a thing on anyway, and they got a lot of them too. But they created that accelerator machine a little bit after what Alexander. when he got some of those scientists and stuff to create that so he can because I remember I was telling you that the woman in the book called Hitler the Black Magician, Hitler the Black Magician, Hitler was
Uh-huh.
mixed with black and he was a and I noticed that he knew about those 5 elixirs that's housed inside the female's body as well as the womb of the earth that sits over there at the north center as well as over there in the cosmos, right? So he knew that because if you look at the periodic table, we got something called atomic elements and stuff like that, right? And just like hydrogen can turn into a bomb if we have too many of the particles, right? Dealing with heat and them elements. So he knew that putting us in, let's just say, when we in a high vibrating state, we have those 5 elixirs, which is who? Shakas, Gunners, Russells, Ojas, and Kalis, right? With the mitochondrium, he used that on a pinhead of that on a quartz crystal. I'm sure it's a black quartz crystal, right? Or it could be a white one, I'm sure. But anyway, he used it on a quartz crystal, just a pinhead of that elixir, right? And created something dealing with the laser gun because we got the UV light in us and too. I'm just saying in general. So I'm getting that those particular ones that was created from that parthenogenic birth, right? They had the same abilities as the women gods, the creator gods. They just didn't have it, so they knew the light codes to her, like the code to put her. What I'm saying, with that particle accelerator machine, trapping the 4th density into the 3rd density, putting us in a fixed position, right? It's just coming
Well,
out my head
well,
too, though.
well, none of that was happening back then, like what kind of like the metaphysical jargon is today. None of that stuff was going on like that. So what we kind of got to get an assessment of is the Titans are people from planet Saturn, which is nothing but a ball of gas, and that's actually just the moon of planet Saturn. And so the beings that come from Titan are just actually 3 ether beings, because Titan is not Titan, but Saturn is made up of gases. And then the particular moon that they actually lived on was pretty much a dead body, just like the moon that we have now. Here on Earth is pretty much a lesser, what they call a lesser celestial being. It doesn't carry as much light as the other ones because of the evolution of it actually coming, uh, you know, it coming out of the sun, or being not coming out of the sun, but I'm saying coming out of the earth, and it being part half of the earth. Now, the parthiogenic part take place far as in the sense of when the Anunnaki did the actual world experiment. So what I'm gonna be giving is, far as in correction, is just the actual Akashic records, not nothing that comes from metaphysical stuff or people's interpretations. Like I was saying, these are more explanations of the actual records themselves. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So the parthenogenic part with taking a man and or taking a man's rib and creating a woman in the image and after the likeness of a man, that is a scientific experiment of the Anunnaki. Now, before that, you had Enki and you had Ninti creating genetic brains. You get what I'm saying? And they created 14 prototypes of what we're dealing with now today. And so Ninti and Enki as Anunnaki, and Enki being a half breed of the Anunnaki's bloodline, because Enki was a mix with the humanoid reptilians that come from Aldebaran. And so,
I was gonna say that.
right, and so with that, that gene got mixed up into our gene as you pass down time, and you going into those 14 prototypes, which they was testing out, basically creating their own Frankenstein or humanoids in a sense. Now, a lot of the prototypes that failed became Frankenstein type, but there were actual successful genetic breedings, and this was the reason for what happened on Mars and the terraforming of Mars, and the reason why the Anunnaki had to come to Earth to pretty much find the gold to help the planet back on the first galaxy, not the first galaxy, but the 18th galaxy, uh and the eighth planet. So with the creation of these beings, it was a succession of us being in a moon cycle in dealing with lower vibrational entities such as the reptilians and things like that that come about through, you know, just evolutionary time. And so the terraforming, which led to us coming here and the Anunnaki coming here, you know, with the whole gold situation, you know, they give people the interpretation that the Anunnaki are all reptilian, and there's a difference between Anaki and actual Anunnaki. You get what I'm saying? And that goes into the distinction of actually knowing language. And this is you know, tying into what we're reading now, because the connection to the source has been lost because we have lost the understanding of our language. So the uh you know, the whole matriarch patriarch thing, like I said, that's not really an issue when it comes to the gods and goddesses or even the Anunnaki themselves, because when you're going back to people like Anu, who was actually just Ra is self-created by way of the lotus flower, and the female is self-generated and created by way of the lotus flower, because we forget as a people that we grew up out of the ground and that we're pygmies to every planet. So we didn't get into those type of dialogues of debating on whether, you know, the god or goddesses, other than those that were disconnected from the source, because they start to get into other type of transgressions and other type of, you know, different ways of life. And so this takes you back to Adam with him and Eve, and you know that they're so-called talking about there was only three, or the way that they present the story, right? The watered down versions, as if it was only three people on the planet, when you have in the scripture in the Bible the people of the land of Nod, because who was those people that Cain was afraid to go amongst? You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so
and that's what right
that's
when he's
what
supposed
what
to have killed. Didn't wasn't it one? Didn't one of them go over there when he was supposed to have killed Abel? They sent him to the land of Nod, and that's where he supposed to found his wife or something.
Yeah, that's where Cain found his wife. And the land of Nod were the people that were considered Kuthite or Hindus. Like I was saying, that's more disconnected from the source. And they were actually the descendants of the Hindus and the mixture of the reptilians. You understand me? So
Okay.
they were the people that were around when it was saying there was darkness and void, because there was no actual land masses on the planet. And so therefore you had uh you know, you had the reptilians in the seas, you know, breeding. And then amongst that, you still had us that were in the sea as amphibians. So you had your reptilians and you had your amphibians. You see what I'm saying? And
Okay.
so this story doesn't go in, uh, you know, uh into the propagation, because in to most people's, you know, conveyance of the information, because they don't read or they're not connected to the knowledge of the language as well. So the the battles that came about far as matriarch, patriarch, and the things that the men have, did throughout the planet by keeping a woman from this particular information, that goes into, like I said, those that were more so of the reptilian bloodline and children. That's why down to today, it's mostly Caucasian people that you see have that gender war and the battle between the genders. That was not really a thing between the gods and the goddesses. You see what I'm saying? Other than
Right. Right.
you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's why I can't wait for it to get back like that again.
Right, right. And that's where we here with the information to, teach people about the sacred word of God, which is, Anu, and an effeminate version, which is actually his wife, Anutum. And so they are one as the the masters, the Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
uh the information, like I said, is not conveyed properly by those who are not coming in to the temple and getting the particular information how it's supposed to be rendered. So when we get to people like the prophet, just using the Heavenly Father Allah, this is by way of the submission that has happened, just based off the fact that, men are natural born leaders of the family, and then women are the natural born leaders of the household or the temple itself. You follow me? So
Mm-hmm.
we each have our natural divine roles, as such. But far as the family go, this is why a lot of people start to lean toward the father falls in the form of protection. You get what I mean? And spiritual protection because of all of the attacks and things that have happened through the evolution of time. So it's not the disregard for the mother. As we read, we pretty much left honoring. We stopped honoring our mother and our father. You see what I'm saying? And giving that divine respect to the divine mother and the divine father as a one. As a oneness, as a unit. And a lot of people go
Right.
into the story because they don't know the history of us as humans being hermaphrodites and things of that nature. We're androgynous beings. We started off as androgynous beings, and we really did not split until we would come into planetary planets like Earth and or Mars, where we had to go and do a cleanup job. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
And
even if you go,
so
go ahead,
okay,
keep
go
going.
ahead. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
no. Last little bit I was gonna say is about this is where the brother or the pharaoh Akhenaten come in, because if you remember from the research of from what you did on Akhenaten, remember it said he had hips like a woman and all of that, right? And and
Mhm.
breasts like a woman. So
Mhm.
and he married a woman. So men, we still have the
Mhm.
breast, and some men still have the usage of the hip, as a woman, especially if they tapping into the divine feminine, Islam.
That's true. But you can get people, which we ain't gonna go off of what people say, but I'm just saying, you know how you get people when you tell them some of this information, they'll feel like, oh, you trying to say that I'm gay, or you trying to say, and it's not that. You have to take yourself out the situation as a victim, so that you can be able to see what the story is conveying. You get what I'm saying, though? I mean, it is what it is. No, I get what you're saying,
Islam,
though.
Islam, true peace. That's right. That's right. That's right. And it's good that you coming in and asking the questions the way, because, like I say, this is on the record. This is left behind for people, so they can see that, you know, that information put into effect and how it is supposed to be conveyed. Because the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York-El, he left the best way to convey it. But you have a lot of people that are stuck in metaphysics versus the Akashic records. And what I mean by that is, for example, you have people that take the word Allah and say, yes, that means arm, leg, arm, head, right? But when you actually
Mhm.
break it down by the language, that's not what that stuff means. Allah at the A is a alif, alim. That does not mean a arm. And then the lam, which is Lam, that does not mean a leg. That's not meaning arm, leg. That don't mean leg. The lam is a hook. You know what I'm saying? Or also it could be considered a weapon. And then Aleph, which means the or the, as in a predicate, right? As in THE, or as we say, El, right? EL for the. That means the. It's a predicate. It means the whatever. And so the hum and the H, that means it has nothing to do with the head. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
in Arabic.
Right.
So you'll be caught off guard just going off of metaphysical things that have nothing to do with the source knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And the actual language and the information. Because uh let me see. H let me see, Ham and Arabic. Or Hamin or Ham. Let me just put Ham for H. Arabic. All right, so the H means voiceless, I think, if that's what it's saying. Or Ha is Ha. So it says the Arabic letter Ha is pronounced just, pronounced like H, just in English. But let me see if they give it the meaning. Give me 1 second.
While you looking for that, my thing is they should have just told us how about the female and the masculine together as they was teaching us, which I get it. They didn't want us to understand what was really going on this realm because that put the women in a low vibration. You feel what I'm saying? And you know they come with the most emotional emotions. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why the whole purpose of us getting in order with these women too is putting them back into a balanced state and start from that womb. That womb. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And huh?
No, I say yes, ma'am. Islam.
You know what I'm saying? And people fail to realize that's where the first brain at anyway. Shit. So in order for them to be able to get out of their state too, you know what I mean? Because imagine she's been in a discombobulation, bringing in souls through the angry vagina, and then you know, and that's what they kind of wanted. I get it, you know what I'm saying? But now I don't, because that stuff is over, you know what I'm saying? And then what I'm also getting to with my research, that when I was talking about those Etruscan Moors and Black Moors or whatever, they look like us, but they not us. I'm getting my research that that's who you calling the Illuminati and shit like that. The white ones is just the front. That's the forefront. Or they with it too, don't get me wrong. But they got to answer to somebody, because I look at it like, how can you put a God down or put a God under a certain spell if you're not a God and you don't know what that God is? Now, because to me, something on a low vibration trying to use our shit, to me, it just don't work that way. You feel me? They be one of us with that strong ass shit knowing how to do it. I'm not saying they can't, and I'm not saying they can't learn, but I'm saying that shit comes from us on a higher vibration. You get what I'm saying? Creation, I mean, creating shit, creating sigils and different patterns, and fucking with. I'm sorry, this is the church one. I'm sorry, excuse me, guys. Messing with light and stuff like that. You know, stuff that we're not paying attention to too. Because a lot of times when I go into something, I want us to take away this body form too, because we so used to suppress to thinking that this is our body, that when you tell a person they might can do this, or they might, I'm just making up something like you might can do telepathy, or you might can do this. A person is not believing it because they believe they this. You get what I'm saying? Not knowing that it's huh?
I say Islam. You right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes when I do go into like speaking, not that I'm a teacher, I ain't nobody's teacher, I just learn things, I go do some research, and what resonates with my common sense, I bring it to the people, and then we can, you know, see where we can put it. You know what I'm saying? And put it in put the pieces together. Shit, we all got pieces.
And that's
Go ahead, baby.
no. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that's important because, like you saying, the Tani Moor, we got to understand Moor just mean black. So we still just talking about black people in general, and you have different types of black people. You get what I'm saying, Islam?
Right.
And melanin is in every species. So you're on point,
Yeah.
Islam.
But remember we got U melanin, which is the EU mean perfect. They got something called pheomelanin, dealing with that feline or that animal. So they might got a little bit of, I'm gonna keep 100. I understand that on this realm, we all, whether you're a cat, a dog, a rat, I don't care what you are, you gotta have a form of mitochondrium in you. How strong is it? That's a different thing, because if you're not coming from that womb that's not mutated, because we got some mutated wombs out here that would not be able to. Because look, let me tell you something. Like for instance, when it comes to sex, right? Sex is the most purest and highest frequency on this damn realm. That's the reason why where I live at, they like to do a lot of sex transmutation rituals and stuff like that, right? Because they know that the female. I'm just saying, when we going, I'm not trying to say it like that, but we got to sometimes go into science too, right? I believe that's what the NOI do. You got to go there too. Dealing with the woman, the vibration from that female, and the males using their sperm to shoot up the spine or whatever the case may be, is their life force, and using that and that. You know what I'm trying to say? In a different realm, in a different way. That's what brings, man. They know what they're using with that stuff. They know what's inside that black woman. She cold, boy. Inside that womb, she got 5 elixirs in her womb. And the last one is Kali. They need to dry that ship. She connected to the womb over there at the North Center. It's a womb over there. I got a video I can show y'all. It shows you something called mercurial plasma. And it's red, right? So they want to call it Dracula blood or whatever. The reason why is because it disappears inside the mirror, but it'll be right there in your hand or on a plate. So they've been getting that from over there at the North Center. Plus, the women need to activate themselves. I'm telling you. Remember, we light beings with the purest energy here. We photon energy. So I want to put the woman back in a high-ass vibrating state right along with the men. Remember, you deal with the crown with the men. But the men need to find, this is what I look at. What we got to do is go inside of ourselves and connect to the different, even though it's not a duality, but since they taught us that, connect to them different energies inside of you. Put them in a divine state. In order for it to be happen on this realm, we got to put that stuff in a divine state within inside the body itself. You get it? We've been vibrating on one type of frequency without having both of them together. I digress.
Islam, and that's basically what happened. You right on point. This is the message that we try to teach our people in the temple, because honoring your mother and your father, you know, your days shall be long upon the earth land. And we see that us constantly getting caught up in these rituals and things like that, because like you're saying, some dog cat is, you know, etc. That's where the 12 circuits of the brain and things like, you know, those type of deeper understandings of, you know, our, you know, neuroanatomy and stuff like that. That's where those type of, you know, dialogues and information come into effect. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, we have those different types, like I was saying, different types of melanated beings, but we need to know who we're supposed to be, you know, associating with and vibrating with, because every, you know, every melanated being has not raised their vibration to that level of understanding to know that, you know, this is what, you know, people on a higher vibration, this is how they function, you know, this is how they understand. And, you know, that way we could tap into those powers that were given by Sapana with the Allah, or who we would call Anu, the Elohim or the Anunnaki. You get what I'm saying? So we got work to do, and we're doing the work by being here, and like you said, going into the information that comes out, what they call the Great Kali, or even just making reference to the children of Kali herself, who was actually Hindu, just like Adam is Hindu. So, you know, a lot of people have the misunderstanding because they don't get the Akashic records. They, you know, they get caught up in the metaphysics, and they're not sitting amongst people like us that are doing the due diligence, you know what I'm saying, and listening to you know, sheiks or imams, or master teachers, such as the, you know, the real, well, who we consider the real master teacher, Dr. Malachi York, who wrote 400 books and went into the doctrine of the stuff that you know, that is the records, not the the metaphysical jargon and rhetoric that'll just keep you running in circles thinking you know a bunch of stuff, versus you actually learning and being a learned man and woman, what we call an erudite. You just, you know, you don't even have to be a teacher, but you can be learned and you can know, you know what I mean? It's better to know, better to be aware. And that's what true consciousness is. You see what I'm saying? So for the conscious community and the situation that we have today with that, you'll see why we're dealing with those type of situations where, you know, men are not really taking care of the women, and the women have a disconnect between the emotions of the man, and the man, you know, has this disconnect from how to be a leader in his household, in his community, you know what I mean, and step up to the plate. And, you know, the disconnect from the information, because we, you know, like I said, we keep going into these, you know, outskirted circles, or, you know, thwarted circles, the same situation that keeps happening, we keep reading about it. So every, you know, as far as in what we read today in the Quran, El Holy Quran, that was translated by the master teacher, you know, showing proof by way of the translation, you know, from the real Quran that was passed down through the real bloodline of Muhammad, right? That these nations continue to destroy themselves because of these things. And we get to learn the true meaning of the definition of the words. We get to learn the true way to convey the information, because that's what makes you, you know, a better person. That's what makes you a better being. If you have a mission, that's what makes your mission better. You know, it makes your mission that you're on, and the journey that you're on, it gives you clarity. And especially when we're talking about people's souls, and we're in the business of helping and saving souls, we got to be on point about the information that we're conveying, because these things affect people's souls. These things affect people's spiritual journeys and the journey that they're going on. You get what I'm saying? Islam. I'm gonna land my plane.
That's totally true. And I feel so good when I do learn things, right? And it resonates with me, and you can just put it against different things that you see out there that you can research with and be like, damn, okay, that's cool. And then it's me. Wow, I'm a part of that. Okay. And that's all I be wanting to do is go out there and spread it. I don't even care. I promise to God I do. And I do that every day. I'm not saying speak to people like I used to as far as out here in the street, but I'm talking about on this, on a, you know, on this thing I do and on the clubhouse and stuff, I do it. Lately, like I told you, I only been speaking through the chats because I'm not trying to go toe to toe with you, all of you guys like that too much. Not you guys, you know what I'm talking about. So
Right,
I'll give
right.
y'all some
Clubhouse.
information. Oh, and they be pumped on the chat too. They be like, bring her up. No, no, huh? You ain't bringing me up. Shit, y'all better get it from here. So anyway, make a long story short, but I wanted to come back, but I also took time out too, just to see while I'm studying, what the people calling on, what is the people calling on, what is people still stuck on, so I can know which avenue to take too. If I'm trying to come out here and get somebody on my frequency, and we crystallize each other, get on that frequency, I have to do that as well, right? So I also stopped too because then it seemed like people just have like a sexual orgasm off of information, right? And then they don't go
Right.
utilize and go look. I mean, damn, you know what I'm trying to say? And the only way you're gonna feel like Electro when the people are like, "Ooh, Electro, you on fire, girl, your energy, da da da." Okay, then guess what? Come in on my frequency, then let's share it. And you gotta, and what I'm gonna tell you what I do, hopefully you do the same thing, and then you can get right here with me too, girl. And Mel. I'm just saying, like, you can't just hear me out for one little split minute or an hour or two and you feel good at that moment and then get off the phone and don't go look up none of the words you probably never heard before. Don't go look up none of the books. I'm not saying we always gotta go on books, but damn, something. You get
That's
it?
right.
Like, then and then I want to hear them come back to me, hitting me up like, hey, you gonna open up today? Because I got some information I want to bring in. You know, like that. Yes. Because now it's getting in you. Now it's sparking some stuff. You get it? And you're
That's
not just
right.
having an orgasm off of me. Now you feel what I'm talking about. Now we can connect. What's up? And I land.
Well, I mean, we ain't got much people in the room. It's just us. Because I did want you to kind of, well, you did, you brought what needed to be given today. And I would love to have you back again. And you just hosting the floor. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a question and answer session. I love the question and answer session. Like I say, it's all question and answer here. But I would love you to hold your own on the floor. And give something that you put together that you want to present. So you always free to do that here. You already know. Like I said, it's love. Um, but since it's just us, you got the opportunity to kind of put your proclamation on the record. If you would like to, proclaim your nationality and your divine creed, and that way we can kind of move you into that adept, start to move you toward that adept position, because like I said, you are adept at what you do. You just kind of mentioned it. The people feel it, the people know it, we know it. And you know, uh, I definitely would love to be one of the ones that bring you in, and pretty much show you the ropes of the chamber, and I'll be here as a minister and a guide, a brother, another adept that you can lean on, and a spiritual guide that you can work with and get the message out to the people. So it's us pretty much here. So if you would like to
Well,
do that,
let's
that's
do
on
it.
you.
How am I supposed to do it? And when you say adept, that reminds me of the little series I've been watching, The Man Who Fell to Earth. You know, that metaphysical little series? They use that word a lot in there too.
Right,
You
because
heard of
that's
that?
basically minister is, or like a magician, or things like that.
I love
Those are, they considered adepts. And
it. And plus they
it's
higher
other.
vibration. That's a higher vibration word. It makes you feel different than just, you know what I mean, a magician.
Right. So there's I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read some things from the prophet real quick, but um
Okay.
it's also other benefits that come with being a minister. So, or adept, and just being involved, in that way of life, because you hold the ground, the groundedness that's needed to actually convey the information as a minister is supposed to. So you kind of separated yourself already, just by the fact that you stand on the square principles, or the 360-degree principles of being able to cipher, you see what I'm saying, and communicate properly, and understand what's being communicated, because you're not just caught up in the babble of things that's just, what I'm saying, what's going on in the world.
I've been in the dark too long, boo. I'm 47. Shit. I have to learn whatever I can learn. And at one point, I would have never came to you guys because of how I was raised. After that, once I became what I am now, I still wasn't coming because of a certain person in my life was saying, not a guy that I'm with. No, nobody's on my. I ain't gonna say nobody, but where I'm from on my level as far as vibration, but they used to like, oh, don't mess with them. They this, they that, da 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 da. And then in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, but then when I look at other things, you guys got a lot of good information from a long time ago, like information. You know what I mean, though? Not that I don't feel like wanting no white person book, and even though I know that's our shit too, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying I want to get to a source that kind of know this shit real good. You guys know about law, you guys know about land, you guys know about all kind of shit. You get what I'm saying? So then I heard another
Islam.
guy I've been listening to lately. You get what I'm saying? So I hear another guy I'm listening to lately too. He like, yeah, like are you guys the Nuwabians or that's totally different too?
We pretty much incorporate all the Moorish different spectrums of the Moors, and in
Okay.
specific, I'm actually blood related to the master teacher, and we're Nuwabians, we're Nubians. Saying Nuwabian is just
Oh,
saying Nubian. It's just a Nubian.
cool. I was just wondering, but yeah, like the person was like, yeah, the Nuwabians and the NOI, they know they shit, and I was like, see, I keep hearing that, so I don't want nobody trying to converse me to doing nothing. Nah, because when I came over here, when I was in that Jesus way, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying in general. You know that religion is too scared to even step out the box to even listen to anything. You get what I'm saying? Now that I'm out of that and I'm not in no box like that, I want to learn what I need to learn everything. My mama told me you need to know what your enemies know too. That's what I heard Farrakhan. I think he said too. Shit. So I mean, come on now. I need to know what angles to take. You get what I'm saying? I need to know what traps you thought you had because I see them way before you. So this is what I'm saying. So I'm willing to put myself there to say, hey, I'm willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a combative type person. I never was. I never have been. You know what I'm saying? And I'm especially not now. Not with the energy on the earth now and not what's cracking now. No. We came to an end of an age. Shit, and I'm here. Nah, I want to learn everything.
So let me give you this real quick. Islam. Basically, what's being kept from you is your positioning in the order, in the divine order, because basically you have people who are not in the order, but they still know the information. You see what I'm saying? So what end up
Mm-hmm.
happening is that they try to push you away from organized structures. And if you look at the word organ, right? Organ, like music, you're
I
out
was
of
just about to say
tune.
that
You
you
become
took it out
out
my
of
mouth.
tune if you're not actually a part of the order. So you can have all the metaphysics, you can have all the knowledge that come from us, but the world is not going to respect you as one of us. The system is not going to treat you as if you're one of us because you're not in the organism of how we function. You're just okay. So look, in our language, we call that a kafir or a kafarun, which means those who conceal what they know to be true. So somebody will gaslight you and say that this organization is this, that, and the third. We're not a gang. We are a royal family and a royal government. Period. And that government goes all the way up to the stars. You understand? Back to the
Right.
source, Sapana with the Allah. So this is the government of God, the Most High, the matriarch, and the patrim, I don't like saying patriarch, but I'm saying patriarch, far as in patrimony, not as in patriarch, which means parent. You get what I'm saying?
The matrilineal?
Yeah, patrimonial, which means this is the order of your galactical parents. You see what I'm saying? Not just
No,
the mother or just the
matriarch.
father. You see what I mean? This is your
I thought
galactical
you,
parent.
I thought it was the matriarch.
It's both, because you leave out parenthood when you just say matriarch. When you just say patriarch,
Okay.
you leave out the mother. Ain't no
Okay.
one without the other. So it's a parent,
Okay.
it's a patrimony, not a patriarch. Patrimony, which means parent. That is the root word for
Cool.
parent.
Cool. Okay.
You understand me? So this is why a lot of information you not privy to, because you get caught up in those that are caught up in the ways of the world, versus being in the order, living an upright life, and having the right information, the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding. It's good to have a lot of information, but if that shit ain't right, that shit just ain't right. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And people are gonna constantly do that to you to lead you into your own self-destruction because they're walking in their self-destruction. It don't have to be explained to them because that's just what they're doing. You got a lot of people who will take your work and take it and water it down and say, nah, you ain't got to get it from her. Come to me. You understand me? When that source information came from you. You follow me? So
And plus,
we
it ain't
as
gonna
a
have
go ahead, Islam.
like I said, like let's just say about like how you like for instance, you said what I said, or even if it's the Bible. If you're not, like you said, if you ain't taking in the information correctly, you're not going to be able to feel of what that person, the Bible is trying to make you convey to feel. You're going to feel a false shits, and you're always going to be in confusion. You get what I'm saying? Or sick. I get what you're saying though. So
There you
I
go,
had people do that
sectism.
too.
There you go,
Huh?
666 sectism. That's what 666 really means. It's the mark of the beast, meaning karagma. In our language, it means karagma, meaning you move like an animal. We are not animals. We're gods. We're highly elevated electromagnetic beings, right?
Yes.
We're connected to the ruach, the sacred breath. We call it the holy breath. So in the temple, you got the temple one-on-ones. That means that person that don't have nothing to do with 6 carbon, 6 electrons, all that crap. And even when you go into that part of it, you're still saying you're a physical person because
Right.
the spiritual person always knows what the physical person is gonna do. The physical person, meaning saying that they're 666, they're just saying they're a solid person. Okay, but we're also liquid, solid, and gas, and we call from what's called hydrocarbonates, which is a gas, a form of a noble gas. You see what I'm saying? So we are a noble people. You can't be sitting there saying, well, y'all gods and goddesses and this, that, and third, but you don't live like one. You're not in the fold of
That's
one.
true.
You sound like a hypocrite. You become the same Christian that you trying to teach against. Catch it. Catch it. You follow?
Yep.
And we said, like we said earlier, we giving the church and the Europeans back they stuff. So a lot of our people are still Europeans. You understand me? They still Caucasoid. They still dead Asians. You see what I'm saying? Silver litter mortus. You're still civilly dead. That's why the prophet came with the civics. And then he turned us into a religious organization so we can bind ourselves back to our stuff and let that religion of the pale skins go. You get what I'm saying? Because we understand that re and legion means to do again over with the legions. But this legion
Right.
that we're going into is to get rid of the legion. We going into the ray. We going into the raw. We going into the light to get rid of the demon. Like Joshua had to break the spell and put those demons into a pig, right? So we putting that legion back into the pig, back into the Zeus, back into the they call him Jesus, we call him Yahshua. That's they stuff. We know who Yahshua HaMashiach is over here. You see what I'm saying? And we follow the Messiah everywhere he go because that word is not a New Testament word. That word comes from ancient Egypt. You follow me? Which means Massa or Messa. You see what I'm saying? The Messiah. And that's who Haru Paharu, you get what I'm saying? Parura, however you want to say it, Harakti or whatever, right? And referring back to that so-called Sphinx. That's our stuff. But see, you'll learn it from the academic standpoint and an actual messenger and an actual, a god. You're gonna convey it as a goddess, and you're gonna move as a goddess. Everything around you is gonna be in the form of the goddess that you are, because you're gonna respect the lane that you're in. You respect people's boundaries. You don't have to jump and say this, that, and the third, because you are what you are. You have your realm of things. And you need to learn that as you go, because then you get to extrapolate the real information that's there. They caught up in a gender war, a sex war, sex magic, right? And we here the gods, we the parents. We watching our children act a fool. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not binded to our religion, which gets rid of the legion. You see what I'm saying? And you step into the true light, like we call it, the true light, or Islam, or like an imam in Islam, an imam or a rabbi or a sheik, right? That brother or sister, imama or imam, is considered to be the light, the true light of wherever you go. You carrying that light, that divine light, everywhere you go. That electromagnetic light of oneness, the oneness of Allah, the oneness of Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Allahumma. You understand? We are the Elohim. We are the Allahumma. Not just Allah. We are the Allahumma. You follow me?
Right. And doesn't the Rahum means a dollar, olive, or something like that, like the a nipple, a mouth, and a hand? That's Allah, probably, huh? Allah. Because I'm thinking about Rahum.
Yeah, Allah. Yeah, so Allah would be, Allah by himself is just the Heavenly Father. And then the Divine Mother, Allah, is symbolic of Mother Neat or Nut from ancient Egypt. So they go hand in hand, and therefore you get the Allahumma. You follow me? The gods. See what I'm saying? We are the gods. But they're not conveying the information in this proper grammatical standpoint. What they're doing is they're leaving our people with half-ass knowledge, excuse my French, and letting them walk out not upright. Niggas walking out here like hunchbacks of Notre Dame. You get what I'm saying? Because they ain't got the proper information. Because they just want to convey gossip. That's what the gospel is. It's their gossip. But for us, it's a gas spell. You see what I'm saying? Or it's called the good news. For us, it's the good news. Right. And what we call the supreme news that's delivered by the prophet. You're of the, right. That's what a Nubian is, or a Nubian. We as Nubians are the bloodline of the prophets. You see what I'm saying? The messengers.
Right. Right.
So
and then what I was
gonna go ahead. Islam.
No, I forgot. I'm trying to write my question down real quick. Go ahead.
But like you can't give a proper message, right? Like you were saying, if your ass ain't, excuse my French, but if your ass ain't got the proper information, how you gonna deliver it properly? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of people like to use the information to for their advantage, because if you don't know it, you get it.
Exactly.
Like with the women and stuff, you get it. Like the men would do that with the women too. You know what I mean? Like to use the message, like, you know, it's just like I don't have time for none of that, because whatever you say, I'm gonna go look it up anyway without you telling me. So to make sure it's right, because I can't let nobody pull the wool over my eyes anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on, man.
That's why you will hear, whenever you go get a chance to listen to his lectures, you're gonna actually hear the master teacher say, "Don't believe me, check it out." And now the Nubians like to say, those that are still real Nubians, because, you know, just like every other group, we got infiltrated, right? But the real Nubians, like we like to say, don't. In this day and time, we like to say, you ain't gotta believe me. Your ass about to find out anyway. So the master teacher used to tell us, don't believe me. Go look for yourself. Don't believe that I seen UFOs. Don't believe that, the fact that we done seen little green man, or the fact that, we done seen orbs and this, that, and the third. You ain't gotta believe me. Go check it out yourself. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they would try to come in. Go ahead.
And they need to. They need to. That stuff gets on my nerve, because it's like, not on my nerve like it really do. You know, that's just a saying, but still, you be thinking to yourself like, listen, y'all. Listen, I'm not telling you guys to jump off the cliff, y'all. You want to learn about something, come on. But a lot of people be wanting that pop-up microwave type shit. Don't you think we wanted it too, like that shit? But it don't go like that. And plus, you gotta listen. How you gonna tear down that fucking that foundation? You gotta tear down the foundation first before you can build something new, y'all. So stop trying to build on something Because see, to me, religion made people, especially our people, complacent. Come on now, don't play with me. They waiting on something all the time. Like, it's supposed to be something called a sin at one point, which I know what that means now, but I'm saying in general. These people are here still believing in that sin stuff. So you guys are still sinning. And then you guys, oh, well, God said he gonna forgive me. He's a forgiving God. So you just keep staying in that and then just die and willow on and then reincarnation cycle over. That's just too much for me. It's like
Because
our people
faith
have become
without
so
work is
lazy.
because faith without work is what, Noble? Faith without work is what?
Yeah.
Is dead. So they become sinners because they choose to be sinners. Or, and how we would say it, transgressors of nature. Because like you said, we know what sin means. And when I read this message from the prophet, you'll see that in Islam, we don't believe in being sinners. We wasn't born sinners. We were born a righteous people. We are the descendant bloodline of Abel, the children of Abel, which means the heart of El. You follow what I'm saying, Islam?
Right.
We come from that
Because
heart. So we're going to see
yeah,
through the language and be able to connect it to its real synonyms, to its real its real analogies. That way you bring out the teachings that was coming from the African griots. You see what I'm saying? The prophet didn't separate us from Atlantis. The prophet just mentioned that we are the descendants of the Moabites that got wiped out. And they came back by way of Boaz and Ruth, which now you have that particular order called the Eastern Stars centered around that. And still to this day, you still have the daughters of Isis, the daughters of Ra. We still around. You see what I'm saying, Islam?
and then what about you said? Okay, hold on. I need to start right because I'm over here putting some clothes on, talking to you still. Because I want to just make sure I get on. I'm mad you said something. Dang, hold on. Let me hold on. I'm mad because you said something. I wanted to comment on it. And my ass is not writing down shit. That's because I'm doing something. But I'm not doing nothing that bad where I can't stay on. This is good learning. You get what I'm saying? Hold
Islam.
on. Because I'm getting that sin from my doing I don't know if I'm pretty sure you do etymology, right? And I know that said
Oh
that it
yeah,
was
yeah,
the name
most
of the
definitely.
moon.
Right, the
And it
name
was
of the
saying
moon.
that it
That's
used to,
right.
you know what I mean? And then if Isis is the goddess of heaven and earth or whatever, and she deals with the moon energy too, with all the waters on the earth, then it's like they always want to damage the woman. If they would, is it true or not? You don't believe? Do you believe or you know that the so-called elites is black or they look like us? Because I don't believe it's another one. I'm just saying. Now that you can,
Well, as we go through the information, you'll get the conveyance that, like we were just saying, they're black reptilians, right? And so some of
Okay.
the elite are black and they are, mixed up with the reptilian animalistic people. But you got
Mm-hmm.
animalistic people of animal, the fallen angel of all races. You see what I'm saying? So this is where the
Right.
book of Enoch and things of that come into effect, because you have the fallen who are of Shaitan and or Iblis, right? Those
Right.
entities are the fallen blacks or melanated people who then become your albinoids or albinos and lepers and things of that nature down history. So yes, some of the elite are black, and you have the blue black going into the Dravidians and some of them, which are actually Hindus. So just like I was saying,
Okay.
Adam himself was part Hindu. You get what I mean?
Okay.
That go
Okay.
back to what
But if
you
you know,
that go back to what you were saying
okay.
about the
What
genetic
about
breed.
the cleanup, right? Because what about over here? Don't you Because I'm looking on the thing when it comes to the herb chakras in California, it'd be like the gland, the root gland or sacral gland of the earth, right? Because over here inside the not just Mount Shasta, wasn't that connected to Lemurian or something? I'm talking about Grand Canyon. Got the big old Buddha statue in there. They got what is it? The cave of Isis, the temple of Isis, the temple of Anubis, the temple, all that over there. Out here in California, where I'm from, too. Because I
Yeah.
look at it like Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. One Egypt is America, the first oldest place. I'm gonna say that, and then the head of us will be Africa. I look at it as the root down here. That's why they bought the damn Hollywood over here. They asses brought out because they knew they wanted to mess up the heart of the music, like you said, organs, right? And that organ they created for the church.
If you look at it, this is Africa. America is still Africa.
That's what I was gonna say that too. But I was just trying to say like Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. You get what I'm trying to say now?
And yeah, right. That's what we called it. Yep, Islam.
Yeah, you get it? Or either they'll say a Moor Inca or a Far Inca, right?
Yeah, Afro-Morica. Yeah, Afro-Morica.
Me. And then I'm pretty sure Queen Khalifa was something down over here too, right?
Yes. That's actually the bloodline of our last rulership. And that's what the divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, that's what he was making reference to. That's right, Islam.
Okay, because I noticed that not like that, and I'm not talking about them because I know that's our people too, but I know I look different than, and a lot of people are like, there's like, we look different. Even we don't have the same look as Africans. You get what I'm saying? And now I'll be hearing that it's a big old argument on here when you come on here with them Africans saying that y'all come from us and da-da-da-da-da, like we wasn't all over this damn place. We had islands is everywhere. What are you talking about? Stuff still have to start at the root, right? Anything has to start at the base, correct?
Islam, when it comes to that, neither one of us come from each other. That's back to like gender banging, and that's continent banging. They continent banging on each other. So when you go back to the science, tectonic plates show that what they call Africa, the Horn, was the actual first plate that came rising out of the ground. So, and then when you go back to the actual stories, the reason why the banging is going on is because people are trying to take hold of some economic entitlement. That has nothing to do with what actually this happened first or that happened second. If you really go into that, the pyramids already explain that. And the American pyramids here are the same structure. They didn't come along till a certain time later on, before the actual pyramids that are the small pyramids that are in Nubia. That's why the pygmies are being disrespected. And when we say we respected our forefathers and mothers, then we're not paying respects to the pygmies that came out of the lotus flower ground of Africa and things of that nature, because we continent banging. The continent banging got to stop, because 2 + 2 = 4. The only and yes, you come out of the ground of America as well, but that's due to the fact of certain extraterrestrial things like that kind of go back into that story. But we're not diving into the records, and you got people that's trying to continent bang because they really just want money. That's all a money plot. That got nothing to do with actual real history. You see what I'm saying? Because if we tie into saying that America came first, then you might as well give the reptilians the power that they want. You follow what I'm saying? Because
right, and I understand even when it comes to a pregnancy, right? Not to cut you off. With the pregnancy, don't the pineal gland kind of form first? So of course that would be Africa first. I get that, because that's how we're the same thing as the earth, right? It's going to progress the same way in nature. So then it goes. So let's say it started from the head, and then it ended at the bottom to the genitals, right? Since that's the lowest nature on us, not nature, but you know what I mean, because it's lowest on the body, as above, so below. Because
and look, let's go a little deeper, right? Islam. Let's go a little deeper. Think about this. Don't the trees and the plants talk to each other?
Yes, they do.
All right, so let's take it deeper. Then that means you would have a motherland. Then where's the fatherland?
That's true. Okay.
And if we saying that we grew out of the ground in the cement or the seismic energy, let's say that because that's a better term, because it do come from the energy. The seismic energy that comes out of the ground, then those two polarities of the planet itself, right, would naturally come together in unison at the same time. It's called harmonics. You follow what I'm saying? So we get trapped into they bull crap because it's just based off of money plots. These people out here continent banging, and it ain't no need to continent bang when you have the motherland, the fatherland, the daughterland, and the sonland. It's a quad. The planet can be
Right.
split quadratically. You follow what I'm saying?
Or
Islam?
the Kaaba gives birth to Ra, huh?
Right. And that's why the missing of the information is the way it is, because them people either egotistical and they get a rise out of telling, like we just read it, they get a rise out of lying to each other, like, and you just said it, you just broke it down, or they getting paid to lie. And that's just essentially what we've been dealing with, because like I'm saying, these people are not a part of the natural order. They're not in the organ. You follow me? They're not a part of the organism of us as a people. So we have the pyramid structure to show us that we are a organized people. So therefore, you're going to have a cap at the top, and you're going to have a body of people. Your arms, your legs, they follow what your brain says. You see what I'm saying? So this is why they're bent on making sure that people like yourself do not come in and proclaim your nationality. So that way you can live the full life that you have through the American Constitution that's given to us in America, because therefore we can be who we are as the host of this planet. America is the host of the planet. Africa is the mother of the planet. The host is the father. When somebody knock at your door and your daddy in the house, who going to open the door? The daddy, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Because daddy gonna be like, y'all get back. Sit down. Let me go handle it.
Yeah.
So we trying to disrespect divine order because we know what's natural, but these people are getting paid, like I said, to keep you out of order. For example, a vampire can only get in your house or in your way unless you invite them in. You follow me?
Yep.
That's what's been going on. And so you got people that are, black reptilians, black devils. They come in, they do their thing. But see, we got to get the information because, for example, like we talking about sin. Sin is a man. That's not a woman. That's a man. So you would think that when they referring to sin as the moon, you think they talking about the woman. No, they not. Sin is a man. In Samaria, sin is a man. In Samaria, Luna is a man. So
Okay.
So a lot of these things get twisted because people stuck on metaphysics, not the Asa, not the Akashic records, not the records, not the data. You told me something, but I went and looked it up. Nah, brother, that ain't what it really said, bro. Nah, that ain't.
Isn't the culture called another name for karma or another name for mayat?
Nah, not really. But my aunt
No.
can be incorporated by way of the order. So the Akashic
Okay.
records is given the record that gives the divine order of things. Just like 2 plus 2 equal what? You see what I'm saying? My aunt is math. 2 plus 2 is 4. We all do that on our fingers. 2 fingers, another 2
Right.
fingers. You get 4 fingers.
Right.
That's called processing. You see what I'm saying? Calculating, thinking processes. You see what I'm saying? We got to be able to think. They're trying to stop you from thinking. They're trying to stop your mind from being able to open up and calculate, process. If they can shut your mind from processing just by bombarding you with information, you're never going to get the right knowledge. You're never going to get the right
Right.
wisdom. You see what this keep going back to?
Yes, I know. I get it. Why do you think I been looking? When I come on here, I don't always look, but when I do find you, I'll be like, oh, there you go.
So look,
You
let me
get
read
it?
this to you. Islam, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because I gotta make sure our people get the right thing. Like we said,
Yes.
we're in the business of taking care of souls and saving souls. We ain't in the business of playing around with your soul. That's the point. Good information is good information, but that don't mean it's the right information. And like we say, we accept this fact. We'll listen to you all day, but that don't mean we're gonna take it in as a fact. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When you start talking facts, then you're gonna have people talking about facts. Yeah, that's the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So look, let me give you this real quick for the proclamation of your nationality, so that way you
Okay.
understand the importance of proclaiming a nationality, because the Negro, black, and colored thing, and you want to write this down, the Dred Scott case, right, of America,
Okay.
Dred, the Dred
Okay.
Scott case. You know, if you already know about it, if or you know what I mean, uh, African Americans are not U.S. citizens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's important to proclaim your nationality, and understanding why proclaiming your nationality is important. So I'm gonna go ahead and read, you know,
Okay.
that part. And so also where you understand why, why it is that you have the mind to be an adept, a minister, and like I said, God, goddess, and all that come with that.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and read this real quick. Um,
You you feel that for me, right?
yeah, I'm doing this directly for you because, like I say, it's only just us in here, so we might as well knock it out, put it on the record for the
No,
record.
no, I'm saying that's what energy you're getting from me as far as to be. Okay, cool. I like it.
Hold on, you said as far as the energy, what you mean, Noble?
You said that you feel like I can be an adept and a teacher. I said, oh, okay, that's the energy you feel from me. Okay, cool.
Right, right. Because like you've been expressing, you are a natural born leader. You was born to do this.
Cool. I love it.
So let me go ahead and give you the good juice. I don't know if you were saying something, Noble. I heard something in the background. I don't know if that was you, Raheem. But
Two
if
piece.
not,
I'm
I'm gonna go
still
ahead.
here. I'm listening to the build. Y'all going in. You know,
Islam.
yeah.
What you gonna say? I'm listening. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut your wisdom.
Oh, I was liking all of it, man. How it took it all the way back to the stars. Broke down Anu, the Anunnaki, Inky, you know, and Lil, Amin Ra. Even the latest build about clearing up, about the continent banging, as far as the us over here, the fatherland and the motherland being over there, and people telling us that we all came from the motherland when all of us didn't come from the motherland, or vice versa, or telling us we need to go back to the motherland when we really, in fact, we at home right here. But yeah,
Right, like the prophet said. That's right, Islam.
y'all going in. It's a man. This is a blessing, man. On a holy day to get all this good information and good teaching.
Hey, I said we was gonna have a good one, right, Islam?
Islamism.
That's right,
You told
Islam.
them what you told them about me. Hmm?
I gave them a little bit. I ain't tell because like I said, I wanted you to come back and actually do a sermon, do a lecture. Put together a little writings, a piece. Put together your piece, and then you go ahead and do your divine performance, like pretty much. Like they come to the podium and they talk and they give a lecture. So
Right.
if not next week or whenever you're ready, you know, we don't have to. Me and you don't. We're not gonna do no question and answer. You just gonna be up there hosting. You're gonna be the one hosting and delivering information. And put
I
like
mean,
I say, put together some things that you want to talk about, and then we go ahead and let you do your thing.
I still need the Osiris up there.
Islam.
Don't leave me by myself. I'm just kidding with you.
Well, no, it ain't gonna. I mean, like I really try to keep the lectures down to 10, if not 10, 15 minutes, to 30 minutes, or let's say 45, because I know people get tired, things like that, and I really do actually put my energy into channeling the message. You see what I'm saying? I figure out what they want us to do, and then I really channel down. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, like I
So
say, even like when I open. Hi, Asim Tawa. This is my friend too, right here. You know her?
Peace and wholeness, everybody. How y'all doing?
peace, 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 and power.
True peace, goddess.
Oh, I ain't even know
You'll love
nobody
this
else was
room.
in the room.
Yeah.
Yes, my sister. You doing all right?
Yes, you too.
Yes, really.
She's one of
Islam,
us too.
Islam.
Him, she's one of us too. She's no joke with it too.
Look, like I say, we honor all the divine prophets and our people. We welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Halido, halido. Amateo, amateo. Ashe, ashe.
I
Uh,
say.
hotep, hotep. You know all those good greetings, y'all. Uh, this is pretty much the house of love right here, the house of peace. We welcome all, and like I was just saying, what sister is, you know, uh, she gonna be doing her thing, being a leader. We look forward to watching the Moorish sisters do their thing. We gonna sit back and we gonna enjoy the show. Islam.
Islam.
Let me go ahead and give you this good information. Like I say, while we here, so that way you know more about what it means being a leader in the Moorish community, and like I said, why they're keeping it from you. You get what I'm saying? Why they don't want you to really come into the understanding that the Moorish Science Temple of America was put into effect for us to actually proclaim our nationality as a people. And this concerns all of us. It don't matter if you're American, Indian, Native American, whatever background you coming from, Caribbean, African, off planet, you the yellow man, the blue man, you get what I'm saying, the green man, whatever. Proclaim your nationality, because Moors are on and indigenous people, melanated people. We are the gods and goddesses and the rulers and the leaders of all planets everywhere you go. Off this planet, on other planets, there's life on every planet, and guess who the ruler is? So with that, I'm gonna read the message from the prophet as he speaks to the nation. The prophet said, if you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race, because you will know who you are and your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet sent to redeem this nation from mental slavery, which you have now, need every one of you who think that your condition can be better. This is an open field to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take your place in the affairs of men. If the Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish National Divine Movement. If you have a nation, you must have a free national name in order to be recognized by the nations as an American citizen. This is what was meant when it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added unto you by the prophet. So, like I said, if y'all understand the Dred Scott case, that's why this stuff is important, because the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1914 or 1928, 1927, when the prophet, or 26, I'm sorry, when the prophet put that on the books and established us as a religious corporation, we became a sub-administrative body, I'm sorry, a sub-national body politic of the United States of America. And as we read on Tuesdays, uh, by by way of the court case that goes into the Dred Scott case, it has been recognized and it's on record that the Moors are participants in the United States of America's Constitution. And let me give y'all some quick tips real quick to go with this, because they try to defame us as a people and our legacy by saying, oh, they were pirates, oh, they were sellouts, oh, they worked for the Europeans. No, 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 no. Because saying Moors sold this people out is just you might as well change the word Moor and put black. Black sold this people out and black. Of course we know we got black sellouts and people that were selling us out. But that don't mean African people was selling out African people. As far as how they describe it, in a sense of Africans selling off other tribes of Africans and things of that nature. That was done still by way of an invasion. Now, we may have put ourselves at war against each other, But that was still a genetic invasion. As we just went down from the stars back down to earth, discussing the disconnection from the source, which became a genetic invasion by animalistic principles, genes, and natures that are anti-nature, that are transgressive to nature. So when we go into say, hey, okay, this black person punched this black person, okay, but black people ain't out here systematically, strategically planning the demise of all black people. And even the one that you can say did it, named Yakub, right? That was still a genetic invasion because his brain was being hacked by beings that come from Pleiades. So if we gonna talk about it, we gonna talk about it. So ain't no so-called African slaving Africans or Moors slaving Moors and sellouts. Like, we know we got sellouts. We know we got people that are transgressive. We know we got people that go against the grain, that go against the source. But we, as a bulk, as a whole, even listening to the divine messages that come from the source, we love our good, bad, and our ugly. Versus this entity and these entities that have no love, and we know they don't come from of us and of the source, and it's of artificial processing, artificial spirits, artificial thinking, artificial natures. We get that already. So us as a people, we got to understand the work of the master teacher, the work of the prophet, the work of the gods and goddesses that came along, and aggrandize ourselves. The opportunity and the time is now for you sisters, because you have the Moorish sister auxiliary. Y'all been having it, and we've been supposed to bring in the full fold of bringing back, like we said earlier, the daughters of Isis, the daughters of Ra, especially in this particular day and time. We're talking about the book of Revelations, and we just read the revelations of El Quran, the daughters of Fatima, the order of Fatima, who is mentioned in the book of Revelations about the 12 jewels and things of that nature. And this is who the devil, the serpent people were trying to bring down. We know what day and time it is. But, hey, you teach a man, you teach an individual. You teach a woman, you teach a nation, right?
Yes.
So this is y'all stuff. This is y'all information. This is y'all structure. The prophet went to Egypt as an Egyptian adept, and he tried to bring it back to us here in America so we could uplift the nation. And men got work to do, protect their women. And the reason why we see all this chaos and stuff, because they're not taking heed to the messages of our mother and our father. And as we said earlier, your days will be short on this earthland. It is what it is,
And
y'all.
I'm ready for the that to come in effect. I mean, like we know, this energy that's on the realm, I know everybody feel it. They know it's not the same energy that we was in. It's like a real fast energy. You feel me? I have
Islam.
something that this engineer, I have a video for him. It says we got like 8.5 months. He said 8, but sometimes now the other day they saying, well, shoot, it's coming quicker because the electromagnetic frequency of the Earth has raised. It's been raising because remember they was NASA will tell you that the poles have shifted, but I always tell people to go back inside your body because your root chakra deals with the Earth, just like what's on the outside is on the inside too. And for us to make that shift go a little quicker, let's get these bodies back into a high alchemical state. The highest alchemical state that we know how to get it in. Feel me? Well, and it has to go along with the information, the sun, stuff like that. And I'm ready for it because I've been here. No, I'm tired. I'm tired of it like this. It has to come in a divine state. It has to.
Islam. That's why they don't want y'all right now that are connected to the goddess information, the divine feminine. They do not want y'all to understand the divine order of Fatima, the sacred order of Fatima, and the daughters and the sons that came with the bloodline of Muhammad. That religion and that those imposters over there, they practicing our stuff. And that was a worldwide culture. We are the chieftain system of the entire planet, which connects every pyramid to each other. There was no separation the way we doing now with this continent banging. You follow me, Islam? So let me go into the next message from the prophet, which is his historical message to all the leaders in America. The prophet say, in connection with the aims, objectives, rules, and regulations of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I deem it proper to submit to you a brief statement of our organization, covering its inception, rise, and progress of the Mohammedan religion, which I hope will be satisfactory to you and be the means of causing you at all times to adhere to the principles of love, true peace, freedom, and justice in your relations with mankind in general. I further most anxiously hope this brief statement will help you to more clearly see the duty and wisdom of it at all times, upholding those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization of our posterity, such as obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance and unity. We, organized as the Moorish Science Temple of America in the year of 1925, and were legally incorporated as a civic organization under the laws of the state of Illinois, November 29, 1926. The name Moorish Science Temple of the name Moorish Temple of Science changed to the Moorish Science Temple of America, May 1928, in accordance with the legal requirements of the Secretary of the State of Illinois. The objective of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and teach those things necessary to make our members better citizens. A national organization with a Rotarian complexion as it relates to branch temples became obvious with the increasing number of inquiries from men and women in different sections of the country concerning the purpose of the organization. There are branch temples in different states, and at that time it was 15 different temples, branch temples. It goes on saying, since the work of the Moorish Science Temple of America was largely religious, the organization has been legally changed to a religious corporation, and an affidavit to this effect has been properly filed in the Cook County Recorder's Office in Illinois. Inspired by the lofty teachings of the Qur'aan, we have it as the revealed word of God Allah. We shall foster the principles of his teaching among our members. This is our religious privilege. Not religion. Our religious privilege as American citizens under the laws of one of the greatest documents of all time, the American Constitution. The Mohammedan religion is the least appreciated and probably the most misunderstood of the world's religions. This is especially true in our Western world. Try to understand what Mohammedanism stands for and some of the things it has contributed to the world. Not all of it. Not all of it. Not the poison of Islam. Not these jihadists and this crazy stuff. Like the master teachers say, Islam has become poisoned. So we are in the operation and the movement, the divine and national movement of Islamicism. And that's the only ism we follow, which is still, connected to equalism or peaceism, whatever you want to call it. Only thing we follow is the way of life for peace, which is going to be the healing of the nations. Continuing on, it says, Muhammad was the founder of the Mohammedan religion. It originated 13 centuries ago on the Arabian Peninsula, where the streams of commerce and culture met and mingled in the Middle Ages, where the markets of exchange were stationed for treasures of India and the products of the Mediterranean coast. There, this religion was established in the unprecedented short period of 20 years, and unlike many other religions, without the aid of any royal patronage and support. Buddhism had its Asaka, and Judaism, it's Joshua. Christianity is Constantine. But Mohammedanism had no person of royal rank and power to assist in its establishment and spread. Today, this religion is acknowledged by nearly 250 million souls and more in 2022 now, and extends over an area equal to 1/3 of the globe. From Arabia, it spreads eastward over Persia, Turkestan, Afghanistan, westward across Syria, Asia Minor, Turkey, southward to Africa, covering more than half of that continent. It found its way to India and beyond, to the islands of Sumatra, Java, and Borneo. To the early representatives of this faith, the world's debt is incalculably great, for it was they who transmitted the treasures of Greek literature from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance. They who originated the graceful forms of which the Taj Mahal and the Alhambra are the most famous examples. It was they who contributed to the sciences of algebra and chemistry and astronomy and medicine. Basically, us Egyptians, us Atlanteans, Lemurians, whatever, it all got compacted into Islamicism, just a religion of peace, or who really kicked it off first, going back to Abraham. Continuing, it says, they who dotted the Saracen, which is another word for saying Moors, or who dotted the Saracen Empire with universities and built at Baghdad and Cairo, which is in Egypt, the most renowned universities of the world. During those centuries of ecclesiastical despotism, which is ecclesiastical or church tyranny, that means church tyranny, religious tyranny, when the Christian church suppressed all intellectual activities save those that were theological, causing the talent that reproduces to supplant the genius that creates. Mohammedans did all in their power to encourage and stimulate research in every branch of human inquiry. The Moors, or the Mohammedans, added to the beauty and grandeur of Spain. For centuries, art, science, literature, and chivalry, how to treat a woman, how to treat people, flourished among them, while the rest of Europe was still sunk in the gloom of the Dark Ages. The Moors were the most ingenious and industrious of the subjects of Spain. Their expulsion from Spain in 1610 was one of the chief causes of the decadence of that country, for both agriculture and industry fell into decay after their departure. Where did we go? Where did we go, Moors? Mohammedanism makes no distinction between high and low, rich and poor. It is like the sky. It has room for all. Some secrets that's with this statement right here, y'all. It says the Quran should be of interest to all readers. It is the Bible of the Mohammedans, ruling over the customs and actions of 200 million people. It is a work of importance, whether considered from a religious, philosophical, or literary viewpoint. So you ain't got to take this religiously. That's what the prophet is saying. Right? Islam. In the promotion of the plans for the betterment of mankind, there has ever been some kind of opposition, and strange as it may seem, such opposition has come from sources where there were no ideals or the lack of courage to force attention to ideals. Whether in church, state, or the social community, any attempt to do anything out of the usual way seldom fails to receive criticism. So anytime we did something like what we're doing now, being innovative, they called us names or whatever they want to call us, and we kept trying to reinvent the word and the names and the culture of peace everywhere we went, trying to reinvent peace. Find my peace, not be my peace, right? Find our peace. Islam, it goes on to say, not because the course cannot be pursued legally or that it is unreasonable, but because it has been considered in terms as new, like Anu, The Moorish Science Temple of America has received some opposition and criticism, and the main opposition has come from certain Christian ministers. They have expressed themselves as being opposed to our propagation of the Mohammedan religion, possibly because the promotion of the Mohammedan faith among our people in the United States is considered by them in terms as something new. Whatever the reason may be for their opposition, the legal right to oppose citizens, individuals, and organizations alike for their religious beliefs does not exist in the United States. The door of religious freedom, made by the American Constitution, swings open to all, and people may enter through it and worship as they desire. Without religious freedom, no search for truth would be possible. Without religious freedom, no discovery of truth would be useful. Without religious freedom, religious progress would be checked, and we would no longer march forward toward the nobler life which the future holds for the races of men. Without religious freedom, there would be no inspiration to lift our heads and gaze with fearlessness into the vast beyond, seeking a hope eternal. It is a sad weakness in us, after all, to oppose our fellow man for their religious beliefs. And if there are angels who recorded the sorrows of man as well as their sins, they certainly know how many and deep are the useless sorrows that spring forth from such opposition. Possibly, love and time will cancel our ancient hatreds in this regard and prove that in mankind, tolerance is better than unwarranted opposition. In connection with our religious aims and beliefs, we must promote economic security. The preaching of economic security among us is by no means as and intensive as the circumstances demand. No other one thing is more needed among us at this moment in time than greater economic power, better positions for our men and women, more business employment for our boys and girls, and bigger incomes will follow our economic security. We shall be secure in nothing until we have economic power. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain a genuine employment of the spiritualities of life. So the Prophet wanted us to see the spirituality in Islamicism and Islam. Continuing, it says, our men, women, and children should be taught to believe in the capacity of our group to succeed in business, in spite of the trials and failures of some of them. Trials and failures in business are by no means confined to any particular group of people. Some business ventures of all people fail. We have many men and women among our people who are qualified, both by training and experience, who are shining lights in the business world of all the people. It is a sad weakness in us as a people that we have withheld the very encouragement, support, and patronage that would have made some of our worthy business ventures a grand success. And worst of all, have joined in the condemnations of them when they fail, except in cases of actual dishonesty, discourtesy, lack of service, and actual unreliability. And our business enterprises in every field of endeavor should have lulled of confidence, cooperation, and patronage whenever and wherever they can be given. Read carefully the doctrines of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It contains our hopes, aims, rules, and articles of religion. Every member should have a copy. In conclusion, I urge you to remember the times, Michael Jackson. There is work enough for all to do in helping to build a better world. The problems of life are largely social and economic. In a profound sense, they are moral and spiritual. Have lofty conceptions of your duties to your country and fellow men in general, and especially with those with whom you deal. This includes such honesty and righteousness as will cause you to put yourself in the other fellow's place. Fellowshipping. This is why we have the spirit of fellowshipping in this house. Look for the best in others and give them the best in you. Have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. What the prophet just said, y'all. have a deeper appreciation for womanhood, brighten the hopes of our youth in order that they're encouraged to be brighten the hopes of our youth in order that their courage be increased to dare and do wondrous things. Adhere at all times to the principles of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. I am your affectionate leader. I shall continue to labor day and night, both in public and private, for your good, thereby contributing to the welfare of our country and its people as a whole. Noble Drew Ali. Do y'all follow what the prophet was saying? That message right there to the leaders? Islam, let me know. Give me some feedback. Islam family.
I resonate with the explanation. I was just sitting here listening. I really don't know too much about the Moorish nation. Just, off the surface, what I've heard, read up in later history. So, good information.
Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you. And with that, like you kind of led us into the next point, because this is important, because people outside that don't really get a chance to visit a temple, whether it's physically or virtually like this, they do not get this type of source information and what the true message of the prophet was by connecting all religions and all cultures. So we, as a branch temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Houston branch temple number 24, we are a world body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So we have the opportunity to bring in our people from all over the world, from all backgrounds and all lives. Being whether you melanated, indigenous, whatever you choose to call yourself, it still means Nubian, melanated, black, and all adjectives and descriptions of the word. It is the same thing. And what I'm reading from is called our Moorish literature. We have our own literature. We have our own prophecies and sayings. And then you wasn't in the room earlier when we was reading the Circle 7 Holy Qur'aan, right? And we read certain scriptures and do reviews over them every holy day, every Friday. But I'll read one of the sentences or the message at the end of chapter 48 in there, so you can get just a little bit of understanding and a little more deeper insight from the prophet himself. The prophet states, "Come, all ye Asiatics," like we said earlier, you got the dead Asiatics, the Caucasians, which means a dead caucus, and our people have adapted European, silver little mortus, civilly dead in the eyes of the law, going back to the Dred Scott case. So this is the prophet calling out, "Come all ye," all of y'all, all Asiatics, all Oriental people, because the planet at one time was called Asia. So he says, "Come all ye Asiatics of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers in ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourself with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets." So that would include Amaru Tupac. That would include Geronimo. If y'all follow what I'm saying. Not your Buffalo Soldiers and your sellouts, right? But if we understand that we are already home, as the prophet says, and some of the literature, this is not about we all go back to Africa movement. This is a divine and national movement for those that are in America, so we can tie back into the family of nations. Because whether they came and divided Africa, which is what the word means, into 50 different countries, and it's just one big country, we still, from the time of that vine, we still tie into the global family of nations. So we ain't got no reason to be continent banging getting caught up in these counterintelligence programs that's going on, that they sending our people out on these apps and these different platforms to do. That ain't got nothing to do with us. They gender wars, they continent wars, all of that ain't got nothing to do with us. We're a holy and divine people, and we follow those universal laws. And in them universal laws, you got the law of gender. So we ain't got no reason to be continent banging, etc. or none of that. We are a peaceful people, and we got to create states of peace. We got to create environments of peace. And that's why we're here, y'all, to love on each other, fellowship with each other, and learn to honor our mother and our father. And whether you want to call it the divine feminine or the divine masculine, it don't matter. And that divine feminine and that divine masculine sitting in your house, in your household, doing what they do every day, that's what we honor right in front of us. So we're going to learn to care, and we're going to learn to love instead of hate. And we're going to learn to respect what's right in front of us and not what we don't got. So with that, y'all, if y'all want to make any other contributions before I go into the prayers and close us out, because we passed the time. It's 9:14. We opened up at 6 o'clock. Thank y'all for coming through. I'm gonna go into the divine messages that gotta get read in every temple service and temple meeting, and I'm gonna close us out with the prayer. Unless y'all want to make some more contributions. With that, I thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Happy birthday! Gratitude is the attitude over here for us, cause y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all took a visit here and got some of this good old divine love and good, true light that we pumping out. You know, you can go any other of these temples, but you ain't gonna get it like this, Islam. So, and please come back, because y'all got some information to get here that y'all haven't got here today. And trust me when I say it's some juicy juice that you want to get here. And if you think I'm playing, go listen to our replays that's sitting on the clubhouse. With that, I'm gonna go into these divine warnings and messages from the prophet, and I'm gonna close us out. I love y'all. Divine love. And you can get a copy of the Moorish literature from the link that's pinned to the room. Please join us. Go ahead. Somebody about to say something?
Can I have a question real quick? Ask a question. Austin Tower, how did you like it?
Yes, it's valuable information, and I appreciate the brother reading it and giving us a real breakdown. And it's
Mm-hmm.
I'm structuring a nation myself, and so I really enjoy this, and this is what it takes. I'm in my studying and doing in depth on the operations and the state offices and things like that to generate and create, and how about to go, how about the way to go about it is what I'm trying to say. And so this is wonderful how you guys have structured yourselves and taking account of the faith-based private religion. That's what we all should be doing. So I salute and have my real honest support. I appreciate this so very much. Thanks for sharing stuff.
Islam.
I love it.
And I would definitely would like to invite you back, because same thing that I'm trying to do with Sister is pretty much put her in position to be an adept and eventually a grand sheikess, and a imam of her own temple, and setting up pretty much. I don't know if she ever, got the ideal of starting a nation, but this right here is we not a group per se. We are the actual Moorish organic bloodline. So that's kind of where with this particular temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it makes it more sweet, because I am actually blood related to the master teacher. That's blood related to this Holy Grail bloodline that people talk about, throughout history and time. And we do have those sacred words, sacred language, languages and histories that could tie you into the Holy Family and really give you that whole true light information. That way, when you do set up and structure a nation, you can do it with a backing, and the backing of the entire family of nations. Like as we say, come link yourself with the family of nations. So I definitely would like to have you back, so that way, we can go over some things and just give you that good information so you can lead a nation, in the direction that you see fit, and you'll have a square foundation. Islam.
Islam. So guess what? I'm a master builder 22. That's the master architect. So it always I've always wanted to help. And I'm gonna be real short. I've always wanted to help I just want to help bad. I'm talking about so bad it's ridiculous. And I land.
Islam. Look, I'm gonna read this before I go into the warning because I want y'all to get a piece of this. This is a real short part of the literature because we caught up on the terms and the names. So I want you to throw away them names for a second, and I want you to hear these words from the prophet. This part of the literary is called "What Shall We Call Him?" The prophet says, "So often our various journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American, for for people like who just spoke. This is kind of like direct information for you because it don't matter what we call ourselves, especially when you building a nation. Long as you coming together on the principles, you got people that's gonna back you, noble. So Islam. Continuing on, it says, some say Negro, another will brand him race man, still another will call him Afro-American, and then come colored, dark American, coon, shine, the brethren, and your folks. So that's where, people in Chicago with the gangs and things like that, that's kind of where they get these terms from, the peoples or the folks and all that. But this is why it's important to understand why they all got their information and teachings, or their leaders were getting their teachings and information from the Moorish Science Temple of America. Even with the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad was a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and other leaders that came about. So y'all can understand where this power is coming from. Islam. It goes on to say, it is indeed a hard matter to find something suitable for the various occasions where a title needs to be used. Is it that these people have no proper name? Question. Did they have a national name when first brought to these shores in the early part of the 17th century? If so, what was it? Did not the land from which they were forced have a name? It now appears a good idea for those whose duty it is to write for the various journals to find out what the national name of the forefathers of these people was. Also look into the history of the founders of civilization and see who they were and where they stood in the building of the present civilization. Probably 2 hours in an up-to-date library would serve to relieve the strain on our man of letters. When the occasion presents itself for a title for these people, the matter of the various names given to these 22 million people with all colors of every race of the globe was an act of European psychology. They gave him a name, then defined it as something inferior to theirs. White they define as a color of purity. Black they say represents everything of evil. The Negro, as they were called in this nation, have no nation to which they might look with pride. Their history starts with the close of the Civil War, or more properly, with his being forced to serve someone else. Thus, he is separated from the illustrious history of his forefathers who were the founders of the first civilization of the old world. This matter should be looked into with a hope of correcting it. So whatever nation you start, noble, like I say, we here to assist you, and you got the backing of the Moorish Science Temple of America, at your arsenal. So with that, I'm gonna go into these divine warnings and I'm gonna close us out. I love y'all. True peace. Let me get into it. So the prophet gave us these divine warnings that or messages, that he wants us to read in every temple meeting and service. And so we're gonna read that real quick and we're gonna go into it. Go into our closing out. All right. The prophet say this, like I said, is to be proclaimed at every temple service, temple meeting. Islam, true peace. The prophet says, I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claimed I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation, as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respects to me and the movement will be remembered. This is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faith, their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need finance, and I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. So with that, y'all, I'm pasting the link to the World Treasury of Merit. If y'all want to make any type of donations, things like that, just, read that page, learn more about the Treasury of Merit. We do have our own treasury, because as the prophet tell us, if we ain't got no treasury, we ain't got no nation. And we do have our own treasury. We are leading in smart contracts and things like that when it comes to the crypto space. So like I said earlier, you got some juicy juice that you got here, and you ain't gonna get it nowhere else in the world. Trust me. Especially what I did to establish us the precedent across the world, because everybody got what they got as far as everything that's a copycat of what we have. But if you want the original, come home. We giving you the original, and we can empower you and the nation, your family, your tribe, and whatever it is that you're building, whatever your aims and goals and ambitions are. Islam. So I'm gonna read this last message, and we're gonna close out with the prayer, y'all. Yeah, our Cash App and all that good stuff, whether you want to do it in Bitcoin, we only use Bitcoin, nothing else. And, read more about, like I said, the Treasury of Merit, and learn why some of these structures is important and why they're set up the way they're set up, and why the Moorish Science Temple of America in this particular modern day has the authority that we do have, coming from 1928, being established before the Vatican and the Catholic Church. And we've been around actually all legally on paper longer than they have. And the authority that you have by way of working with that grand body. So please don't treat this just like some different or some group or something like that. The prophet really set up an organic nation. That was the reason for doing things religiously or doing a faith-based organization. But we're not just a faith-based organization. We are actually a religious corporation, which makes us a sub-national nation or national body of the United States of America. So we are the true Americans. We are the true American royals. We are the real American nationals. Islam. So with that, I'm going to read the prophet's warning to all Muslims and peacemakers across the world, from Moorish Americans to Moorish Asians to Moorish Africans and all world islanders. True peace. And this is also to be read in every meeting and temple service. So the prophet says, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. True peace. Noble Drew Ali. With that, y'all, I'm gonna close us out. Y'all got some last sentiments, any last contributions, questions, anything like that? Let's go ahead and get them out before I go into the prayer and close us out. Islam.
I'm just clapping. I'm happy. Cool.
Thank you, Noble. Before we do officially close out, let me go over this for you, because we want you to come back on Sunday so we can do the pronouncement and the official announcement. But I'm just wanting to, let it be known that you all becoming an official member, an official national, and linking with the family of nations, joining the Moorish Science Temple of America. Bring people with you, bring the people with you, especially brother. I don't know if that's a brother or sister that was talking, but because it was the feedback that was throwing me off. But whatever your mission is, Noble, like I said, we here to help, and come link in with the family of nations. We got you, we got you, we got you. Islam. So with that, I'm gonna end it out with the Moorish American prayer. Y'all know how this goes. If you don't, I'm about to let you know. Facing the east, 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up, feet planted at a 90-degree angle, and let's do this. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through His holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. With that, y'all, we gonna call it a night. I'm about to put something on my tummy yummy, because my ribs are sticking to my back, y'all. I love y'all. Divine love. Hua, Ashug, all those good words of love. There's 1,000 ways and a 1,000 languages to say I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gratitude is the attitude. Thank y'all for coming through and making contributions, participating. Please come back, listen to the reviews if you get a chance, because it's plenty of information in there for y'all to soak in and soak up. And we do open up on Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you brothers, the noble that was mentioned, I think that's a sister that was talking earlier, you trying to establish a nation, it'd be good if you come through Monday through Thursday, because we do have our own World Interfaith Tribunal. We do have a tribunal that we open up Monday through Thursday, where we do our own cases and things like that. You can click on the temple, the link that's pinned to the top, and go to the menu and click on Interfaith Court, and it'll give you full definition of what's been put in place by way of my hand, and also the prophet, and other laws that pertain to having a nation and being respected as a nation as a whole. And like I say, we here, pretty much got your back, or your front, because your back is actually in the back of you. So yeah. But if y'all get what I'm saying, y'all probably get it later. But with that, y'all, we're gonna close out. I love y'all. I love y'all. Divine love. Hua. If y'all want to talk to me, just leave me a little message. But I'm about to go feed my tummy. Y'all want to make donations? Like I said, the Cash App and the information and all that is on this Temple World Treasury of Merit link. All you gotta do is click it, read it, learn more about the temple tax. And like I said, Noble, you want to learn more about setting up a nation and what it means to actually setting up an organic, ordained nation. Like I said, we here to help and walk you through those protocols. I'm Grand Sheik, Dr. Lawiy Zodok Shamuel, and appreciate you for coming. Charnay, you is late, baby. You so late, baby. But if you get a chance, please listen to the review, the replay. It'll be up. But I'm about to close this room, my mama. I love y'all. True peace. Islam.